But will this work? Whirls. Darn typo. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Can everybody hear me? Can everyone see me? Darn typo. Hello. How do I sound? How do I look? I'm using my actual webcam this time, so it's not going through any Skype. There's no Skype involved today. Maybe later. Yeah. So yeah. Hi. Guys, say hi in the chat. Let me know who's here. Say hiya, hiya, hiya. Or something of the ilk. Because boy, this live changed a bit from the original vibe, which is the last few hours. He says with 8 to go, but boy, I gotta sleep. I mean, guys, look at that. Look at that number. There's a bar. It's not only all green, but it's so full that number's higher. What number do we see? What number do we see? We see 109%. Now, math. I was taught at school in math that 100% is the top, right? So therefore 109 is above the top. So I think that implies that you guys, you rose up. You said, I believe in you. And these people down here to make some fan trek. And from our 7,500 goal to raise 82 with still 8 hours to go. And this live is one of those things that we're going to, hey, let's see if we can get to 110. You know? That is great because with all these services, you know, you raise money and they fee the money you get. That's how they make their money. And so getting over 100% means I might actually raise 7,500 by getting 82. There is logic to that. And boy, that's a real nice feeling. Real nice feeling. Yeah, goodness. So, as a treat for everybody and everybody here, I'm going to go through a ton of cool stuff. I really am. I can put it. I'm going to go through a ton of stuff. I'm going to show off a ton of stuff. I'm going to talk about a ton of stuff and have a guest on about halfway through to be able to talk about fan films and Indiegogos and all these different projects and give you a nice insight into the world of fan films. Because there's quite an interesting inner working. I've got a lot of clips from a lot of. I spent literally about an hour and a half. The hour and a half that we would have spent live, I've spent prepping for this live. So that is awesome, and you get a very fresh thought. So what's also great about this is that we are at like final hours. So if you want to donate right now for any of the small perks, the £15 perks, which I have been blown away by people who've got them, and I'm hoping one in particular will really grab some people. And so anyone that's here today that wants to get one of those perks, I can shout them out right here, right now, and we can see that number go up. Because I'd love to hit 110. I really, really would. Yep. I don't expect more than 110, but it literally all does go. Because you might ask, why more? Well, as you know, because of a filming mishap, a virus mishap, I should say, we end up filming 2 bonus shorts. Mini shorts, but, you know, shorts. And so you're getting 2 free extra bonus things. And I've got ideas I want to shoot that are much shorter and fun and simple. And when you've spent all this budget to get props and costumes, getting the actors is far more affordable because it's a big chunk of it gone. And so it'd be a shame not to do more mini shorts in one way or another. And so anything extra, it will absolutely go to making more. And that is phenomenal. That's really exciting for me because I just want to get cooking and start making them. And that for me is really cool. But Fleetpaw says, happy for you, Sam. Congrats. Thank you, Fleetpaw. And I am going to start sharing this. And while I'm sharing it, I'm going to play the pitch video to remind you who's involved and to let me start sharing this. I've got to do both sides of the Trekyards-ness here. My side and the Stuart side. And look, only one. I'm in the top box, but it's still just me. Or well, I mean, technically, I'm there as well. But anyway, so I'm going to show you the picture video, guys, just to kind of show you what this whole thing's about, and you can kind of enjoy it. And we can start with the other me talking, because you know, do we want multiple me's? I don't know, and hopefully it'll be loud enough to hear. Hopefully, I should be able to hear it when it comes on. Any second. Where's my voice? My name is Samuel Cockings. You might know that name from Trekyards and the credits of a ton of fan films of the last couple of years. So one of the fundamental things about this project is they are short films, not these big, elaborate, complicated, 40, 50, 60 minute. You know, not only can we not do those because of the fan film guidelines, but they take ages to make. We did have that project, it was called Convergence, and we were this close to filming in 2020, but you guys all know the world shut down, and that film revolves around people from other countries flying to the UK, and so not much we could do. Proving we could do the Long Way From Home short really put those creative juices flowing, and doing short films is such a fun medium.
So when Sam first approached me about shooting an additional short film as a little bonus to those who contributed to the Convergence fundraiser, I thought, actually, that's a wonderful idea. Having something that I could shoot and hand off to Sam to finish editing was really quite appealing.
When Sam pitches ideas, he's really excitable, and the details just flow out. But every once in a while, he'll say something and go, well, wait a minute, that's amazing.
So much Trek love in this, and there's a lot of references, there's a lot of stuff that people know from movies, from TV series.
Obviously, Sam's got a long history with fan films, as do I, and one of his was Temporal Anomaly, and actually seeing the cast from Temporal Anomaly returning, seeing Harriman carried on from the point where he was and catching up a little bit with what's happening with the Enterprise E, I think that'll be exciting for everyone, and obviously for me, because I'm an excitable chap.
Because you've got those different eras all sort of crossing each other, I think it was quite exciting, especially for die-hard fans. So I think it's going to be nice to go back to that again as well and revisit those characters and relationships and things like that.
Well, first of all, Sam's a genius and he has, crazy ideas. He pitched them to me and I thought, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna do this again. I like working with Sam anyways.
When Sam Cockings says he has an idea, you listen. And Sam does all of our CGI for Dreadnought Dominion, and he's like our unofficial third executive producer, because he just brings so many great ideas to the show. So when you approached me and said, hey, would you like to be part of our Trek shorts, I would, well, heck yes. There was just no other answer I could come up with.
I feel honored to be a part of it. I'm no actor by any means, but I've got such a passion for Star Trek. I've always wanted to leave my mark on it. Hopefully I've done that with Trekyards, but to be able to be in a fan film and play another character and just be part of the fun, the excitement of just having fun playing in this Star Trek world or universe.
To have everyone to involve as many productions as you can and film them from different locations. We'll of course be filming from the Netherlands.
Finally, I'll save the day this time. Now, actually, I'm really excited because Squadron was all practical set. Now, this one is all CGI, which is another challenge, and it's going to be interesting. And as far as I know, your interiors are amazing. So you've recreated our bridge in CGI, so we'll be using that. So it'll be slightly different acting, but I'm really, really excited about it.
Green screen stuff, you've got to have the characters. You've got to, because there's no set to give the atmosphere. The characters have to do it. It's the director's, not just the actor's job to bring the characters to life, it's the director's as well.
One of the greatest words in a fan film lexicon is crossover. I really love crossovers and making it canon amongst all of our series. So we're telling the fans that we're all in the same kind of universe. All being connected with your CGI, that just more cements the idea.
The visual effects on this, done by the amazing Commander Cockings, are something that you guys should definitely be looking forward to. I've seen his work over the past 6 years plus. Each time just impresses me more and more and more. The green screening work he's done has got so much better over the years.
These shorts are about embracing the Star Trek universe, using multiple facets, and unlike other fan films that may be limited in their technical ability, so only have a few backgrounds, when we walk through a set, when we live in a set, I want the actors, the characters, the audience to feel like we are on that set. But when you keep changing angles and changing locations, and you start to let that leave your mind, and now you're just in the Defiant, or in the Norway class, or in the Enterprise E. If you've seen Temporal Anomaly, there's a journey throughout these ships, and you kind of get a feel of, oh, we're living in the ships. Hopefully, we can recapture that in these shorts.
Such a varied type of stories being told here. They're not super long, so they should shoot relatively quickly, and the post-production should be quick. So hopefully, these should be released fairly quickly once they're shot. There's advantages to Sam doing a lot of the work on the post-production on these themselves.
Fundraising and Indiegogo is very important because, you know, while these projects are not professional, they're not cheap. And, you know, we need the help of the fans to support this so that we can continue making these projects.
And I think that everyone who will see it will absolutely love it. So I really hope that people will donate. And even now, the times were really hard, but you know, anyone can probably spare a few dollars or euros or Great British pounds or whatever they have in their pockets to make this thing happen.
The last year it's been crap for everyone. It has been crap for everyone. And I think a little bit of escapism, just for 10 minutes is for the sake of a £5 or a tenner or 20 quid or 50 quid. If you can spare it, chuck it in and let's see what we can make with it. Let's see what we can do. I think it's a really exciting prospect that you start with an idea, lots of people get involved, and you get this amazing end product.
When, you know, I've got fans who say, hey, Gary, I'm sorry, I can only give you $10. And I go, that's awesome. You know, I get 10 people and that's $100. And, you know, that pays for a costume because you think these things are not cheap.
So please support this Indiegogo if you can. Every dollar helps, and your support means the world to us. To support fan films, to support these many cast members and these many different productions. So if you can, please do. And if you can't, just check them out and enjoy. We're very proud of what we've written here. We'll see you next time, guys.
Bye.
This is Nim.
This is Sam. And together, we're Nim and Sam.
Oh, what fun it is to work with Nim! Oh, what fun, fun, fun. But what are you guys saying? And yes, I have been looking at my emails. Some things might have come in, so I'm going to update this page, and we're going to see what's going to happen. But Jarzy says, nicely done. Can't wait to see the finished product. Finished products. That's the kind of fun thing. It's 5 shorts with a 6th completed, a bonus one having already come out. Oops. And more to come. I've got some ideas. Chuck A, $2. Great work, Samuel. Thank you so much. Goodness, now I'm not expecting too much today, although, boy, we've already blown past my expectations of how many emails is that? It's 5 emails. Goodness. So let's see. Live on air. We're at 109%. 8225. We've managed to get a Evergene. I'm sorry about his names. They're complicated names. Or Eugene. I don't know if that's maybe the same person. £15. Enterprise E crew member. I wonder who's going to win that at the end of the day. The Enterprise E. Well, we'll go into that in a minute, but I wonder which one's going to win. Also, £50 commander level. That is a chunky. That helps a lot. Jeez. Mark Phillips, £10. Ensign to the project. Robert Hayes. Oh my God, 80. Oh my God. It's like, whew. So much love. And Christian, 20 as well. Lieutenant. Or Christian, Lieutenant. Goodness, that's a hell of a jump. Oh my God, 111% from 8210 to 8391. Oh my God, that's another £181. That is so many costumes. That is so many pieces of costuming. My God. And what's great about this, guys, is I went ahead and invested anyway, about 2 months ago, I suppose, on getting new costumes and things. Crossing the fingers. Because if I don't have them in the bank, if I don't have them ready, ready to go, then you can't use them and look fancy. But just getting that amazing 180 instantly pays for like a massive chunk of those costumes, which now I can just use in doing things. Thank you, Fleetpaw. Appreciate that. Nim and Sam, yes. Stem, we do try. And boy, some of these elements, I've really tried to sort of lift up the canon, bring some more things together, and make them make sense. No, Sturm. It's impressive enough. Goodness darn. I mean, hey, I'll say it. You know, if we can reach 115, I'm happy with 111. If we can reach 115 then to live, oh goodness, oh my goodness. Well, mostly helps, but Olivia has a problem with Indiegogo. But Olivia just $50, which helps the Trekyards side of our lives. Yes, here you go. I can't wait to see your shorts. Thank you, Olivia. Which one the most? But let's look at these shorts that now are definitely happening. You know, no confusion there. We've got by fans for fans. Very true. The amount of hard work put in by the teams is a lot. We've got A Long Way From Home, which has already come out, and it's over 30,000 views. And that is a small story with Nim and Nick and Lucia and me and Michelle Specht all together to form a fun little story, a little side tale that does not take place in Delta Quadrant but does link. That's already out. You can go watch it now. Short 1, Family Ties, which is a TMP era film, but shows elements of the TOS era, and crossovers with the Avalon Universe team, who I absolutely love working with, and they're using physical sets for their chunk, I mean digital sets, and put it all together. And this is, as you can see, a high-end bridge, and so you'll get a bit of a Wrath of Khan love that you don't often see in fan films, so that's exciting. Short 2, The Silent Pain of War, which takes place exclusively on the USS Defiant. The team has gone through painstakingly rebuilding a lot of the sets, and more sets you've seen in any fan film for sure. And it's basically going on a tour the characters and the story, but in doing so we get to see the ship, we get to feel what it means to be on this ship during the very early stages of the Dominion War, see that side of it all from the lower decks perspective. We know Cisco, we know Jadzia, we know all those people, but what's it like from other people? And this is fun because it takes place in the Voyager era, so those colour shoulders, which is nice, a nice addition. Jason Mushed, $5. Trekyards love Trekyards. Ah, thank you. We love you too. We really do. Yes, Olivia, that's good. And there's more DS9 coming, as you know. Mark First, the commander can spruce up. Not sure what that means, but thank you. And Wayne, hey Samuel, I wish you all the best in getting these projects rolling and hope success to follow and perpetuate future endeavours. Thank you, and certainly with the bonus funds, that's exactly what's going to happen. I did show this, yeah, okay. And then you've got the one that most people are most looking forward to, short 3, Hours to Doomsday, which I think is a great sounding name. This, in essence, is the Enterprise E versus Doomsday Machine, but with a caveat, it's told via the lower decks styling, or the lower decks crewness. So the big battle is the B plot, the character stuff is the A plot, and that's exciting because you get all the fun visuals, but all the really nice character moments as well. And Type 11 shuttle, we often see. A lot of fun. I've done a lot of work on this already. We're literally about to film it, and then Corona struck. There you go. But we filmed some other stuff instead, as you know. We've got Fleeting Moments of Peace, which is the Squadron crossover, which is phenomenal. Getting to work with Jacob and Teresa, and with cinematographer, it's come back as well. That's gonna be a lot of fun. Not a lot of tease in this, for sure. Although it's gonna have a lot of nice political stuff. An alien race that we all love, but are barely seen, is gonna show up, and some fun space stuff in that as well. And of course, the other one people are intrigued about is the Stargate meets Star Trek crossover. That can go anywhere. I hope I don't let you guys down. There's a lot of fun to be had with that, and I certainly want to try. Well, Paul, if you're watching, I think you just go for the. I think you just go. Are you even here, Paul? Yeah, I think you are here, Sturm. To double check, so I'm not talking to nobody. Confirm you're here, and then I can answer directly. Haha, because internet. But yeah, Stargate meets Star Trek. My almost fully practical set ship, the fully practical on location shoot, will include Star Trek and Stargate on the screen at the same time. That's going to be a lot of fun. P90s and phasers, and tricorders and other tricorders and other P90s and other phasers. Very different visuals, multi-universes, and that's going to be a lot of fun to shoot. And you imagine the surrealness of seeing people in full uniform. Ooh, but it is it's a lead-in. But Sturm, yes, I would recommend rereading your question. That's lovely for your daughter. Hopefully she appreciates it. I would recommend you just donate without a perk, and then you can send a message via what you just did, and then clarify that you're doing like an add-on, or just get the second perk, and then you can tell me, because I mean, you know, we can keep email chains that say, you know, I mean, I've got several bonus perks, several bonus people that sort of other ways of doing the system. But if you want to get on, either go just by getting it again, or by just donating without a perk and then letting me know offside that you're going to have something special. Yes, get her name in things. Make her a crew member or some such. Does that answer your question? Let me know. Yes, Fleetpaw. Thank you, Tim. So am I. And what's great is that we... Boy, I really want to film these over the summer. This summer. Now, there's post-production. I've got a lot quicker. And obviously, you know how there's many Trek shows coming out? Yeah, they're going to take time out of my life. But I definitely want to get most stuff filmed this summer. So I have it ready. And then build it around that when I've got time. Jazia. Oh, good question. $5. What are your thoughts regarding the Amazon buying MGM? Do you feel like this will lead to new Stargate sooner? Yeah, I think it's good. I mean, obviously we can't change it now. It's a big old thing. I mean, they are the biggest money pit in the world in terms of what they can throw into it. A lot of potential there. I mean, they must know. I mean, they had Amazon on their platform for a lot. Had Stargate on their Amazon Prime for a long time, so they must know. They must know the money is there and possible. So it's only a matter of time. Hopefully they'll work the right people in the right thing, meaning the original people, but you know, give them clever briefs that are like modern but not. No, I'm excited. It's a lot of possible. A lot of possible. And I mean, come on, we've not had Stargate for so long, so it can't get any worse in terms of like no Stargate. But Mr. Jericho, how much did the MSD post by itself? Ooh, yes, no, for sure. What did I had that on the let me be fair on this and check the convergence one, because I like to be consistent. And then you can just email me saying you want to get that separately, because that is fine. I really, at this point, I'm happy for anybody. Oh, that is the same campaign. At this point, I'm happy if anybody wants to get anything special. Let me know. Now's the time to get it. You know, let's see if we can get to 115 by having a little bit of fun with the perks. That is absolutely okay with me. It was that, but that exchange rate's different. I am going to say £16 then shipping, so round up to sort of 22. Just put in 22 and then email me and let me know that you want it. Yeah, there you go. I still say number one special. $15, amazing, thank you. Just because I love seeing you in tight uniforms. Although, do you mean me or my actors? Because Killian put a little bit of weight, and so they're a little more tight on him than they were originally. But that's okay. That's okay. And I'm all, carefully form-fitting, etc., etc. But yeah, boy, I got some new uniforms. And I'm going to tease one. I'm going to show one straight away. I'm excited because I've got so many cool things to show. Those that were here last time, but I want to talk about it again briefly before we bring on our special guest, who may or may not be watching. I really don't know. Probably though, or not. Unless they're getting their hair ready, which is also possible. Let's see. Where's the picture? Did I even load the picture? Probably didn't. I think that's on a separate thing. It's not in that, is it? Well, it's to do with this lady, who you all know as Nimran, who appears as Anna Keeley and Rachel Keeley, depending which film you look at. And we're trying to work out other costumes for her. That's a standard one, as you guys may have seen last time, but I want to show it off again. This is the non-tailored version. This is completely raw, just seeing how it fits. There you go. This is a tease. A tease for what is to come. Tease for what is to come. Yes. The Picard flashback uniform, which I think looks rather good in. And so uniforms like that have been working out, testing to see. And who knows? I certainly like new uniforms. I certainly like seeing people in different parts of the universe. And so, you know, these 5 or 6 or even 7 if you include, well, or 8. Oh god, there's so many. These many shorts don't include this uniform, which implies cool things might happen. Let's see. So, Jason Marsh. So 25 USD, I guess, about that. We will be able to print the digital posters, copyright, and all that if you want to. They're your posters at that point. I just like my poster and my printer in my local area. I know how to print them because I've been doing them for years at this point. Sam, what are the perks? Might gain a few more supporters. Fleet Paw. I feel like that's a plug. Yes, so we're going to bring our guest in a couple of minutes. You are right. Let's just go through the perks briefly, and then we can bring in in case anyone wants to donate before we bring on our guest and talk about fan films. And I'm assuming they are going to watch the chat or the live as well. We can show some cool stuff and then be on it as well. And yeah, so we have. And I'm really interested to see which one wins. I'm really interested to see. Although, 8,471. We've got 2 new contributions. Paul, 80. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's so much. That is so much. And Henrik again. 10, Ensign. Oh my god, that's another 90. That's so much. Whoo! This is making my life so much easier with what I've already spent. And justifying that I should have spent the money on costumes. Yes! I'm not crazy, and it did a thing. Let's hope it undoes it. There we go. Right. Nope. Why is this a thing? Okay, let's do that. So, Ensign level, 12 claimed. But the question is, do you want to be a special credit? Do you want to be in the credits of any of the films that feature this film, or feature this ship? A defiant crew member. 27 of you say yes. Not to be outdone by the Enterprise E, which is now out of frame. What happened? All the perks. What? No, all the perks disappeared for some reason. There we go. That's weird. Yes, not to be outdone by the Enterprise E. Same thing. 18 people. So currently the Defiant is winning. And now that is all over the... Goodness. See, it should be here, and you should be able to see them. There we go, okay. 18 people for the Enterprise E. And I like the E, so if anyone wants to get the E, now is a good chance to become a crew member in Hours of Doomsday. It's a bonus credit, not just a backer, also a crew member. Then the USS Cerritos, 8 have been claimed to the Cerritos. I like the Cerritos. Do you like the Cerritos? Let us know. DS9, ooh, DS9, being announced later, has now risen above the Cerritos with 9 out of unnamed, however many you want. So that's interesting. DS9 and Cerritos is low, DS9 is middle, and Z, and Defiant is currently winning. But also, the Trek shorts. I mean, it's really the Trekyards poster, let's be honest. This one's fun because it is every single ship in all of the shorts put together, coming together. And this is great because I will only print it once I'm done, or at least once it's full enough. And so and I'm insane when it comes to throwing on, you know, other ships here and there, because I've got so many, and I like to build them, and I like to have them. And so you're going to see background assets here and there from different fan films, from universes perhaps. Already in Long Way From Home, there's so many, including some ones you probably didn't even recognise until they're on here. And I'll probably include like era variations. So if you see a Connie in one era and then different in another, it'll be different Connies. And that, for Trekyards fans, I genuinely would love a lot of you to get this poster, because for me, this is so cool. It really is. And to be able to have, you know, when I'm including other fan film ships, especially their own designs, that's really going to be a truly unique poster that really I'm the only one that can create. Have more in scale. So it's all a learning exercise. Like, what is the scale? Having the diddly little shuttles in scale, why not? And all the random stuff. That's really exciting to me. And it's going to get very full, but I still have to make it look cool and interesting. And if enough of you get this poster, I'm thinking of doing some physical and signing them. I mean, hey, if you guys want to suddenly like get 10 more of these, 10 of you want to jump in and get this poster, Let's talk about doing physical ones. Let's talk about getting them signed. Let's talk about having a really cool big poster sent to you of all the ships in all these fan films, signed by me, numbered, so you'll know what the edition you have is limited to this campaign. You guys, I literally made this for you guys. And we've obviously got funding now. I just want it to be appreciated, because if you like ships, there's going to be a lot of cool ships. I did put okay, I'll tell you one cameo I did do, because I did a few. In A Long Way From Home, there is a Babylon 5 cargo ship in that fleet. So there'll have to be a Babylon 5 ship in this whole load of ships. And like I said, I'm a daft man, and so the more I do, the more Easter egg ships I'm going to include, and that's going to be real fun. So that's going to be cool. And just Horizon's right there leading the charge. Michael, Sean, sorry, Carter, $5. Thanks so much. Sam, appreciate all the outstanding work. Thank you. So glad to help with these amazing projects. Rock on, brother. I will try for you, sir. And Fred, $20 Canadian. That helps the Trekyards so much as well. And of course, we got one more contribution from Ryan. DS9 crew member. Oh, did he get them to 10, or was he the 9? That's the question. He got them to 10, so DS9 is even more popular. He was like, DS9 can't be too below Cerritos. Tish per sure. That's awesome. So let's do the 8. Oh my god. Ooh, £4 away from 85. That's so much. Oh my god, if we can hit 115, that is like all the fees that I'm pretty sure covers the other bonus shoots I did, which did come out of my pocket. That is phenomenal. Oh. Damn, sir. That's amazing, Paul. That is unnecessary. That's amazing. That's amazing. Helps so much. Crazy. And obviously, people who can afford more, I hope that you guys appreciate you are supporting those fans that can't afford more, if that makes sense. Those that give 15 are like we love you, this is what we can do. And those that give the 80 or more, that's like saying, we want this made for all of us. And I'm going to put in thousands of hours on this, and that's okay, they're my ideas. So I really hope everyone's given a lot, especially the crazy mofos have given so much. Please feel special in that you allowed this to get made for everyone else. And you look at the 30,000 people that made Long Way from... Wow, that'd be a lot. That watched Long Way From Home. All the future shorts, everyone that gave, more than the minimum, as it were. It's because of you. Really because of you. So that is amazing. And we got another from Timothy. Yes! Ships of Short Trek posters. Refreshing. Did we get to... I don't know yet. That one hasn't necessarily come in. But I think we give our special guest standing by. And we're on a delay. And this is to talk about fan films in general. And I want to hear the outside perspective of this campaign and of what's been going on. Yes, Matt Ballman. He's crazy. Thank you, Fred. Appreciate it. Fleet Poor. Yes, if you do, get us that number. And obviously we can talk offline about sending one over. That would be cool. That would be so cool. This is Jericho. How do you leave a message with a donation? I don't know if you can, although you can send a message to the campaign. But if any of you want to send a message to me via this campaign, I find that and I like messages being sent to the Trek Shorts Facebook page, because then it keeps them organized and ordered. So if you want to even get a custom perk, as in like a whatever special poster, it's like something weird, as in like signed or sent or maybe whatever, MSD for example. Yeah, Trek Shorts, message that Facebook page. And it will and I will get it and we can talk, and perks post page is absolutely fine. But let's bring our special guest to about all things fan films, as I now have to both talk and vamp and Skype and move things and not sound like an idiot. I've only done some of those things. And it helps if you spell the name right. Okay. Oh, the Skype we all know so well. That's so loud in my head. That is so loud. That is real loud. Now, where do I want it? I need to hold on one second. I have to swap cameras. Hold on 1 second. And then I hung up on him because who needs special guests when you have special guests? No, it's the darn camera thing. Gotta be careful with the cameras, because then I gotta reframe my Skype. Come on. Oh dear. Come on. That's embarrassing. Well, that's embarrassing. It's so loud in my ears. My goodness. But yes, Olivia Julius, $5. He's the happiest guy in the UK. There we go. One of the sleepy guys in the UK, possibly. Or maybe. I mean, there's a black box. There we go. Camera's turned on. There we go. Oh, I feel weird that you get.
All right, I'm gonna go.
He gets the Stewart spot, which is the top slot. I don't know how I feel about that. Hello, Jonathan Lane of Fan Film Factor.
Hello there. I'm trying to quit out of some of the many applications I have open
That does
because
help.
things are going fakakta on my part.
Yes, your internet does not look great. And so Jonathan, I will give him, as he often does on his promotional and discussional blogs, as I swap our faces around, he is the Sultan of words, the magician,
the, of word,
the magician
wizard,
of commas.
The wizard of words. Alliterate.
I'm doing bad on purpose. Let me be bad on purpose. And the
do it.
And the what's another one? The sorcerer of telling me when I spell things wrong. No, he's the foremost blogger and potentially one of the foremost experts in fan films out there. And so to make this a little more special, as we've hit an astounding goal, an astounding campaign, talk about fan films, and thank you. And we both know how hard.
Congratulations on it.
We know how hard these are to fight. Very much so. We know how hard these are to fight. And for many different reasons, for being in them, involved in them, working with people who've done them, etc. And, you know, interesting perspective to talk to you about things, Bobs, and what you think about this sort of project and all the different team members, and, you know, get a sense that other people might not know. But also make you not give the longest stories, because you give long stories. So I've got to also be director as well. Yes, you.
I talk too much.
Yeah, but let me just hit the super chats and then we'll jump to you briefly. So Jarzia, $5. You sold me. I got the poster. I assume as you build a collection, universes, props, sets, pieces, it all gets cheaper and easier to make these in the future. Yeah, it really does. This was the big investment one. It'll be a lot easier next time, and hopefully COVID will make it even easier when it goes away. Matt Baldwin, $5. Mr. Matt, one of our CGI amazing texture artists who makes things even prettier than I could do them by myself. $5. So over the moon about the campaign hitting its goal and then some. And Mark Foot says the first time he's donated anything on Indiegogo. Yes, passion is what we do. Oh, and Nick Cook says big thanks to everyone who donated. Thank you so much. Looking forward to these. And yes, Nick has done some amazing costume work just for this next down thing. He can't help but keep improving his own work, and now he's gonna have a brand new thing for our next short. We can't help it, guys. We can't help it. We can't help it. So, Jonathan, what did you think of this campaign and the project, and what do you think it means for fan films in general, with your wide breadth of knowledge in fan films?
Well, so there's a couple things. First of all, you did everything right, and it's kind of funny. I get a lot of people who ask me for help on campaigns. And the first thing I tell them is you never want to launch your campaign as a surprise. You really, you want to lead up to it. You want people to know it's coming. There's an old saying in marketing communications: when you give a presentation, tell them what you're going to tell them, and then tell them what you just told them. And so, which is what you're doing right now, telling them what you just told them. But there are so many people who just launch their campaigns like, "Oh, I built it, so come." And that's no. You need to lead up to that. So you did that right. And then when you're crowdfunding, folks, That's your job. I don't care if you have one or two or three other jobs. Your job during the 30 or 45 or 60 days that you are crowdfunding is to get out there, to be on social media, to do interviews with Fan Film Factor, do interviews with other folks that are doing stuff.
Even if you're tempted to put out the phaser at the end, because you need some relief from that much posting, you say no, put the phaser down. It'll be worth it in the end.
If you don't ask, you don't get. People should be annoyed by how much you are asking. I mean, when I did Interlude, I was constantly posting to Facebook. People were, like, we're sick and tired of it. You know what? Somebody hasn't seen it yet. So that's your job. So, for Sam, this was his job. He was constantly coming out with more stuff. He was always on social media. That being said, you didn't tell anybody you were doing this video. And I don't know if you're aware, but while you were in your first 25 minutes or so of doing this video, I posted something to Fan Film Forum and shared it to 13 other websites, or 13 other Facebook groups.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go to Fan Film Forum right now, and you'll see my announcement at the top is Sam Cockings is live celebrating.
I did post it on my places, but it's one of the Trekyards groups was the...
Between the two of us, we did it.
Yeah.
We make it good.
Yeah. And Nick says again, COVID cases are on the rise again in the UK. I'm right in the middle of a hotspot again myself right now. So am I. We're both in hotspots. That's crazy. But, cases are going to rise, but deaths aren't necessarily going to rise. And that's the metric to think about as we... Yeah, boy, I was on the train for 3 hours today, and that was not fun to wear masks for that long. While travelling, I should say, for 3 hours. Anyway. Yeah, no. And it's great because... I was so busy working on A Long Way From Home. So I was try working. I was doing A Long Way From Home to finish that because I needed to launch a campaign with. Indiegogo video, working with people, getting interviews. Some level of graphic, although my main time should have been on the big film. And then things during the campaign. So it was a lot of stuff right at the end there. I obviously had hoped that A Long Way From Home should be enough in concept. I mean, best case scenario, to bring people straight to the page. Didn't happen remotely. 30,000 views, nope. They loved it, which is, makes the heart feel good. Long From Home, smashing success, phenomenal. Don't often see that many nice things said about a fan film. Lovely. Didn't give me that boost that you would think, just like with Star Trek Continues, first episode, that was to sell the campaign, and it was all the sell they needed because they put all their money where their mouth is. I did that again. Another one of those. Didn't work. So that was a surprise start, I'll be honest, and certainly... shocked my creative needs. I was just like, well, I'm gonna have to make some more stuff, aren't I? And so not only did I was like posting stuff, I was actually making new stuff, and literally every day I released a new teaser. That teaser was finished that day, from rendering that night, from building the day before, or the day, that like as the render bars were finished, I was able to release them because I mean some of those, it doesn't feel like it, but that second shot in the Stargate teaser when you're coming down in the bridge, that was a 29-hour render. To get that level of quality, because I was using new software. It's like, that is...
People don't know.
People don't know.
Have no idea, to be honest. Most people have no idea what it takes to make a fan film.
Mm-hmm.
And, you see this in some of the critiques and the criticisms of some of the fan films that are either put out or, ones we're still waiting for. Yeah. And I'm not just talking about Axanar, but I'm talking about the last episode of Starship Farragut. We're still waiting for.
Well, Yorktown.
The second episode
we're almost 6 months past their official big. That's another 6 months. That's oops. Yep.
I have a funny story about Yorktown.
Oh, don't we all?
It goes back. This is a personal story that you haven't heard.
Ooh.
Because Sam has been doing all the stuff on the back end for Yorktown, and they've really been doing a lot of work. But my art teacher in high school, her name was Mrs. Galula, and she had told me a story about a Renaissance sculptor. I think his name was Giacomedes or something like that. And Giacomedes was always chiseling, just a little bit more. I mean, he was making these beautiful sculptures or whatever, just a little bit more. He was never finished. It was a little bit more, a little bit more. And he started with these like huge 8-foot tall blocks of marble. And by the time he was finally done, he had like, something that was this big. And so his brother was his financier. Apparently, Giacomedes was a little bit, obsessive. So his brother, and didn't really notice things. He just was always about the sculpting or whatever. But his brother was basically losing all his money into basically, dust that was being swept away. and he couldn't keep doing this, financing him anymore. So what he started doing was he would go into Giacomitti's studio in the middle of the night and decide which pieces were done, and he would have them carted out, and he would put in like a new block of marble, and then so Giacomitti's would come in the next day, and the guy was not quite all there, and the head says, "Oh, time to start again." And so when she noticed me getting too caught up in trying to fix every little detail of what everything I was working on, she would walk behind me and she would go, "Giacomitti's brother," and that was her thing of "You're done."
Yeah.
Now, I know I've seen it. It looks great. I know that right now John Adkin is trying to get the sound to be perfect. I know he's trying to find a good sound person. I don't want to take that away from him.
Well, I think Yorktown is the exception because everyone's waited literally decades, generations. That can wait as long as it needs to. And my stuff I'm pretty proud of, and it's always better for it. Most of these little films, mine included, and yours to some extent, even though it's a medium little film, like lengthwise, the super minutiae can be either justified or justified not to happen. But I think Yorktown is the one that I think we can just say, yeah, okay, that's all good. Especially since John had some.
I mean, I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I've enjoyed it several times. I've watched it. I've liked it.
Well, the thing about Yorktown is that you are watching two different fan films.
Yeah.
Because you're watching a fan film that was shot in 1985, and then you're watching stuff that was shot between 2010 and 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell that you're watching two different fan films.
I'll be honest.
However, I'm going to say this. John Adkins and Sam and all the other people who've been working on it are trying to make the distinction between the two fan films as unnoticeable as possible. You are watching two different fan films, but they want it to look like just one fan film. And they're coming very, very close. I mean, it's amazing as I've watched it develop that it's, the transitions are becoming more and more seamless. But that being said, that it when you finally watch it, whether that be this year, next year, or sometime in the 2050s after First Contact,
4K re-release. Oh wait, first release.
16K first release.
Oh god, horrifying.
But just understand how much work has gone into getting that, because the problem with fan filmmakers like you, and in some cases like me and Josh and Victoria, is we make it look too easy.
Sometimes. Yeah.
No, it's serious. I look at your stuff, and it would be easy for somebody to think, oh, you could just film this in a weekend, and you put some digital backgrounds behind it. He's got the model, and people look at Axonar and like, why isn't it done yet? It's like, why isn't it done yet? You try to make a film like this, with a lawsuit and COVID and everything else that's gone on, and getting your sets to be moved across the country and everything else.
And all of my shorts are designed to be clever with limited everything. Convergence was the big one, if everyone remembers, and the same problem. No people flying around. The one big problem didn't kill it, but it put in another year of hibernation. No one's fault except the world's fault. But no, say for A Long Way From Home, it amazes. People obviously, I'm sure, come to my work and expect the CGI, which kind of puts me at a disadvantage of, well, of course, which means I can't impress them as much. Other films, they might say, oh, great, 8 shots. But since I do a large percentage of the films out there, I know exactly the amount of shots because I do them. And so, and I want to talk about other films in the second half of this, why I've done a whole lot of clips to sort of promote them, because, this is really a team effort, this project. But you look at Drone Dominion and Avalon, they are between sort of 5 and 20 shots, right? Long Way From Home is like 39. So you're getting over double for about half the amount of time. The House of Doomsday, I'm very proud to say, I'm at 46 shots, space effect shots, which is astoundingly high for a fan film. And these aren't digital backgrounds; these are all space shots. And so that's like 3 films worth in one film for one crowdfunder, which is enough to make one film. You know what I mean? Like, there's that strange disconnect where you say it looks easy. I know I'm the guy that does them, but that is hundreds of hours of work. And I would like, hopefully, I know you guys are the Trekyards audience. Hopefully, you won't become numb to it in a sense, because it is like real heart and soul work. But it also lifts up, because a lot of the time especially in these limited scope films, it is literally a few people in a few places not doing much. That broadness is massive, and I've seen other people's films without my work and then seeing it with, and it's like, oh, now we're in Star Trek world, because now we're seeing this motion, this life. You know, the Dreadnought Dominion is a few plywood sets in the same corridor, theoretically, until you see the exterior. Oh no, now she's 24 decks. La la la. So it's amazing how much that does. But I see 3 new contributions already. I think
what are you up to?
I think we're trying to get to 115. I think that's the new goal. Tyler, the Ships of the Trek Shorts poster, excellent. Top Gun, oh my god, that's unnecessary, but thank you, Matt Borman, Lieutenant Commander Boardman, and Robert Hayes puts in for the physical poster. That is very cool, with a new comment from him as well. So now we're only 1% away from my bonus mega stretch goal, which is great, and past 8.5. And I told you in private right at the start my semi-disappointment, especially since I have like 4 other things. But this makes those other things far easier, which is great, because literally I have some some ideas.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you a funny and true story. So I was on the phone with Josh Irwin yesterday afternoon.
Avalon, creator of the Avalon universe. Wonderful guy.
Avalon universe, great. And by the way, my director of photography on Interlude, a wonderful guy. He just drove to and from Phoenix, Arizona, from Fayetteville, Arkansas. Now, for those people who are not in America, that would be like driving across Europe. I mean, literally, you could go across like 16 countries. Because I think I think it's about like maybe almost 2,000 miles that he was driving. Now he was doing this because he's also working with a new production company that he's partnered with on a pain project. But he was also bringing a couple of his cast members down there to film a Star Trek fan film. They were actually filming in the desert outside of Phoenix, about 40 miles outside of Phoenix, under a full moon with this really sensitive camera lens, and the footage looked fantastic. Anyway, he's got to go back there again. So, and he's got to make the trip again. There was a problem with one of the actors, and they need to refilm some scenes. And poor Josh, because I mean, it was funny because
it's not funny. No, it's funny. There's funny there.
It's funny. Well, that's not funny. Okay, it's tragic.
But it's tragic.
What was funny is that he had called me, or he had actually said, I'd like to talk to you really briefly. And I said, well, I'm about to make lunch. And, can I call you later on today? And he said, well, I'm driving back to Arkansas. And I was like, okay, so I can pretty much call you anytime. So I had lunch. And then my wife and I decided to, during lunch, watch the Friends reunion special. So that was, another 2 hours of my life. I figured, what the heck? And so when I finally talked to Josh, I said, so, are you through New Mexico yet? And apparently he actually hadn't even gotten to Albuquerque yet, which is kind of in central New Mexico, but towards the west of it. So he'd gotten nowhere. And he'd already been driving for 6 or 8 hours or whatever, and he barely crossed the state and a half. But the only reason I say this is, I tell you, and I'm telling other people, never launch a crowdfunder as a surprise. So Josh is going to be launching his crowdfunder for his next Avalon universe fan film. And that one's actually going to bring back Captain Jaconde from Interlude.
Which is a great choice. Probably the most impressive part of that film. I think that's not too much, unexpected. Very well done.
We love. Well, I think Louis Anderson's effects were also. I mean, not as good as yours.
You're rubbing. I know you say that in a jabbing way. I like them. I know you say that.
They were good. They were
good.
No,
I know what I can see some of the tricks. I would do it differently. I've said to that you before. I would do them differently.
Oh yeah. Sam has complained to me. He's like, you should have done it this way. It's like, yeah, you should have done it yourself.
Not able to, but it's. I'm allowed to. I'm like the one guy that can do that. I know there's not Ryan. Who's Glenn's other guy? Glenn Wolfe. Who's Dan? Dan does some effects now, so it's like him could also tell you things, etc. But I'm the guy that can say.
Him could.
Yeah.
Aren't you British? Don't you speak English as a first language?
Well, apparently not.
Apparently, if you've ever seen Sam's texts, here's the thing about Sam, by the way. If you text with Sam, first of all, expect to get like 13 or 14 different texts before you have a chance to send anything back, because he sends you like 3 words at a time. And
well, let's be fair. I'm on a PC, so
it's
it's in one chunk. Like, it's a PC. It's not a phone, so it's... Continue.
Well, anyway, so but anyway, so the thing about Jakande is,
And typos,
you know, we
that was
killed
the
him
thing.
off initially. Oh, okay. But we killed Jakande off, you know, which was very sad because Warren is this awesome actor. But the Avalon universe is a different Star Trek universe. So as far as Josh is concerned, Warren, you know, or Mari Jakande didn't get killed during the 4 Years' War, so he can bring him back, and Warren is very excited about this. So anyway, Josh will be doing another crowdfunder for that, and so look for that. But here is the thing, you know, so he's stuck having to get himself back to Arizona again, and that's probably like another $2,000 to $3,000 of cost, just, you know, for the lodging and
it's always the lodging. It's always that stuff. Yeah,
it's always a little stuff, you know, and of course there's a camera equipment you have to get and whatever. And I said, well, just do another crowdfunder. He's like, I don't want to do 2 crowdfunders in a row. You know, and I sort of understand that. And he doesn't want to borrow from Peter to pay Paul, so to speak. In other words, he doesn't want to do a crowdfunder for the next one and then utilize it for this. So anyway, if there's any, you know, big-pocketed donors out there who would like to really make a difference for somebody, contact Josh Irwin. You can find him on Facebook, Joshua Michael Irwin. Just look for that. Tell him John sent you, and say I'm here with money, and I would like you to give me something really, really nice in exchange for me rescuing your fan film.
Because he's the epitome of over-delivering at this point, and he's certainly the top bar in the current fan film world. He delivered 2 parts of Demons, and a bonus film, and a short, and another short, and so, I mean, over-delivering is the man's middle name. It's almost insane in a lovely way. Although I do know, obviously, you know, we've all been talking, because obviously they're in my production, so I know them all, and I work for them all. So I got first dibs, because they weren't quite ready yet. So I was first dibs, ending today, my time, so yay. And then General Dominion gets second dibs, because they've been waiting for me.
Yeah.
And then Avalon's after.
Dreadnought Dominion, starting tomorrow, by the way.
Starting Tuesday.
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 June 1st, Dreadnought Dominion gets their turn. And it was funny because I was saying to Sam, you know, if you don't make it to your goal, you can always extend for another 30 days. It's like, no, I'm not, you know, this is their slot. You know, I'm not going to keep mine going. And I said, very, you know, I salute you on that one.
Yeah, I was firm first on that.
And then after that, and by the way, I don't know if anybody knows, but Space Command is doing a campaign right now. So you managed to get this wall. Space Command was out there. That's Mark Scott's Decrees thing, where they probably raised about $2 million
combined.
And they're doing. I was not sure if they were going to make it to their goal. I'm still not sure if
Yeah.
they're going to make it to their. But I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, what they at?
They're at 65 of 80, $65,000 of $80,000. They have 4 days left, 245 backers. I think the problem with Space Command is that it's been so long. I mean, I realize they had COVID or whatever, but I know that they have all this footage from the second hour of their pilot that's been filmed, including brilliant scenes from Mira Furlan, you know, who's now passed away. And it just hasn't been finished yet. And I was reluctant to feature Space Command on Fan Film Factor, my blog. And I haven't, because I really wanted to give you the spotlight, and I was just sort of feeling, you know, guilty. You know, just a couple of days ago, they were still in like the 50,000 range. Like, oh, you guys aren't going to make your goal. I think now that they're 15,000 away, I'm sure that Mark's going to find like 1 or 2, like, you know, big Hollywood donors to try to get him over the top. But
I always find his pitch videos interesting because they're always the same. They're almost just he's reusing pitch video number 1, etc., etc. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just we all put a lot of work into new, interesting, different, and obviously, you know, it's another episode of his continuing saga. Fine, but I would always try and add something new to the story.
It always starts off with, I'm Mark Scott's decree of Space Command. Mark
But also
Scott's decree
writer and director. Yeah. And I've talked to the guy.
resume.
You know, we've had actually we have some videos with him. We have had and will have. We had a 3.5 hour film with him, which was very intense. As in, hey, great energy the whole time. It was amazing. But I do want to, because while I was aiming to release an Avalon exclusive, hey guys, this is Avalon, neither could get me clips until after my deadline of when I could actually edit them. So I'm going to include them now because I was able to edit them and not release them during. So this is Joshua on location in desert, speaking a few nice words about this production. So take it away, Joshua.
Hello, this is Josh Irwin, executive producer of Avalon Universe, and we're out in
Take
the
it away,
desert.
Joshua.
This is going to be our filming location for our next short film, Agent of New Worlds. And we're really excited about being able to shoot here and what Sam Cockings is going to be able to do for us here. We're going to combine this interesting landscape with his CG. It's going to be incredible, and we're really excited to share that with you. What we're also really excited about is to work with Sam on one of his own short treks. This is going to be a film where we're going to be able to see our Avalon Universe characters in a different way. Sam does amazing work for us, and it's going to be no different for both of these films. And I would highly encourage you, if you can help Sam with these short treks, please contribute, because the more that you give to Sam's projects, the more we can do. Thanks, and have a great day.
And yes, you can see his real location there. No green screen, there. But also Tyler did put me a little video together. So this is Tyler, the lead actor of the short trek, which is called Family Ties, or the trek short, I should say.
Hi, I'm Tyler Donovan. I play Captain Derek Mason in the Avalon universe, and I'm really excited to be playing a different version of my character in a very different type of film. Not in Avalon universe. This is more, I'm told this is going to be more classic TOS vibes, and I'm really excited about it. I've known Josh Irwin for almost 30 years now, and getting to work with him, as an adult in film is just, this was kind of our dream as kids, getting to make Star Trek films. It's been great. It's always a pleasure working with him. He's always very professional. And also a lot of fun to work with. It's always a blast working with Josh. Thanks again, everyone. Thank you, Sam and Josh, for bringing me into this project, and thank all of you for donating. Live long and prosper.
So I asked for longer videos, but that's okay. They had what they had, which is absolutely fine. So there you go. Those are the two wonderful chaps, and those are also some very hardworking fan film people. And the weird thing about the Avalon universe is that I pitched them this short in November, I believe, October, November. We filmed our chunk in October, November, and they were going to film theirs that side of the year. And then lots of stuff happened behind the scenes, and then didn't hear much from them. But I know what that meant in terms of, okay, stuff's happening, so I let them do their thing. And then months later, we got back in contact, besides the hi, how are you, Merry Christmas, etc. And I was told, hey, you got different actors now. So I'm like, okay. You got Tyler again. Oh, okay. And I always liked Tyler's performance. Now I get to write Tyler's words. And Tyler's got a great energy. When we did Avalon Lost, I said together, but I was just the CG guy. I was watching an early cut, and I commented that why was he dubbed? No, why was he dubbed? And the other actor, I forgot the name of briefly. The other captain, real name is.
Are you talking about for an interlude? Or are you talking about?
No, for the Avalon films, the newer captain.
Yep. Oh, okay. So when you're saying dubbed, you mean he was dumped?
No, dubbed. No, audio dubbed. What's the other guy? Ramirez, but his
audio dubbed. Okay.
Wow, God, I can't remember his name. Anyway, the other captain, the captain that took over. I was like, well, why is one actor dubbed and one not? I can hear it. And he's like, oh no, that's just them. What do you mean? Well, Tyler speaks loud and broad and so resonant that he sounds almost out of body, and the other guy sounds so soft that it doesn't sound connective. I'm like, wow, that sucks. You gotta blend the audio, and it's like, yeah, because he sounded so over the top, but in a very controlled way. It's very strange. So I'm looking forward to adding some words to him, and that one's not the longest project, and they are flashbacks, but definitely give a nice bit of emotional weight to the performance. And it's nice to be able to incorporate, Avalon guys. I definitely want to do more with them. As I've said since, minute one, the more we can get, the more I'd like to do. And I would definitely love to be able to do a proper Avalon crossover, meaning with the actual Avalon team. There's no reason in God's green Star Trek universe that they can't, go into the future and meet our guys. Maybe on the same temporal
We've
plane.
crossed universes before. It doesn't
Yeah.
always have to be the universe, folks. It can be the Avalon.
And that would be a lot of fun. Although that's one of the jokes about trying to even fit in my TOS fan film friends is that my guys are in the future. You guys way back here. You can't always have time travel, so I've had to be quite creative with how I connect them all. But Martin is asking just briefly, who are you again? So just reiterate, who are you in your own words? Because you're not Stuart, or you are Stuart with a weird makeover, which is also possible, but I don't think you are.
No, I kind of the shape of Stuart, though. I guess I don't have to. Stuart's a good guy. Okay, yeah. So anybody who's a Trekyards watcher has no idea of the world of Star Trek fan films. You would want to go to fanfilmfactor.com. And that is my baby. That is something that I started back in early 2016, just covering Star Trek fan films. There's two Star Trek fan films, main Star Trek fan film websites. One of them is Star Trek Reviewed. It's a blog site, but it's more of a library index. Like, there's literally been probably thousands of Star Trek fan films, and you can find links to every single one of them on that site. But those links are basically just a couple of sentences describing what it is you're going towards, and then a link. What I do is I interview the fan filmmakers, and I do retrospectives on the history of these long-running Star Trek fan films. I don't review them. I refuse to, say nasty things about any Star Trek fan film. I have a prime directive. There's two rules in my prime directive. One, there's no such thing as a bad Star Trek fan film. And two, if you see a bad Star Trek fan film, refer back to rule number one. But there have been hundreds and hundreds of fan films that I have done a deep dive into on Fan Film Factor. But there's like literally thousands of them out there. So if you want to see Star Trek fan films, and you want a good place to start, go to fanfilmfactor.com. I have a list of fan films. I have a list of the blogs that I've done that are alphabetical by the date that the blog was published, and by rating. I will actually give the top ones the highest admiral rank and go down to ensigns. Hey, good try. And sometimes you want to watch the good tries just to see what exactly a good try is. And then, you end up turning it off because you pull my arm off rather than see it. But no, there's no such thing about Star Trek fan film. And every Star Trek fan filmmaker deserves respect because they did it. It's not easy to finish a Star Trek fan film or any fan film. It's a project. It's something you have to want to do. You have to plan to do. You have to do, and then you have to finish and release. Those are all the things that are required to make a Star Trek fan film. Give the people some respect. So it's 5 years later, and I'm still doing this. In fact, I'll give you a sneak peek of one of my blogs. I can't show you because I can't share my screen. But in 3 weeks, exactly 3 weeks, I have to time this blog pretty carefully, and I have to finish written and a bunch of other things done. In 3 weeks, it will be the 5-year anniversary of the publication of the Star Trek fan film guidelines.
That went quick. Huh.
Didn't it go quick? That was a quick 5 years, huh?
Wow.
I didn't realize that until a couple of weeks ago.
I would say 3.5.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. No, it was 2016. It was June 22nd, 2016. We are now June 22nd, wow. 2021 is 3 weeks from now. So I am writing a blog entitled The Big Lie of fan films. And the big lie of fan films is the guidelines killed Star Trek fan film.
Yeah. Well, and
because I still see that on Facebook. The Star Trek fan films are dead. I'm sorry, they're not dead. I'm too busy.
And
you're too busy.
Two anecdotes. One, look at this campaign. CBS saw it happened. They had 30 days to say hi. Never did. That was their choice. They saw it happen. Two, I was at Star Trek Birmingham, and I know there's some chat about the Indiegogo, which is great. We'll get to that in 1 second. So I was at Birmingham, and this is the second time I met John Van Sitters. First time was more cordial, but that was before the guideline stuff. You know, CBS changed a little bit. Okay, fine, it's all good. And not many people have, I think, the guts to walk up to the man and say to him, "Hey, John, pleasantries. By the way, I'm running a crowdfunder right now for a fan film. What do you think? Have you seen it?" And he's like, "Yeah, I know you are. I mean, you know what not to do." I'm like, "I do." And I think there was more little subtext said, but like, to say to the guy's face, "I'm doing a crowdfunder," and like, they're watching you, but the fact that you got it through, you know what I mean? Like, actions speak louder than words, and their words are now, like I say, 5 years old. And their actions, I think, unless you know different, and I know most fan films, I was the last person to get in contact by CBS directly for that film, and I got a deal.
You're the only people.
Well, I mean, there's Tommy Craft and there's Continues.
You're one of the only people that yeah. Well, but that was before the guidelines, by the way. And Tommy Craft
was
contacted in April.
He
was contacted for Federation Rising.
Yeah.
He had just, this was 4 months after Axonar got sued. They were still in litigation.
Okay, so it was before. Wow. Okay. Yeah.
And it was 2 months before.
Wow. Okay, I wasn't
one. Tommy Craft with the Star Trek Horizon. Anybody who is not a fan of Star Trek fan films, just go to YouTube, type in Star Trek Horizon, take an hour, watch it, you'll love it.
Mm-hmm.
And Tommy Craft literally made this in his parents' basement. You will not believe that he literally made this in his
very
parents'
good
basement. So Tommy Craft, talk about an overachiever. And he was going to do a 200, and that was like, I think he spent like $50,000 or $70,000 on that.
Yeah.
And he was going to do a new crowdfunder for
Thanks,
this
Donnie.
thing called Federation Rising. Thanks, Donnie. Whoever Donnie is.
Yeah.
But Federation Rising, he's going to do $250,000. He was going to talk about the birth of the Federation in the Romulan War, because Enterprise had already ended at that point. And it was going to be this fantastic crowdfunder. $250,000. Imagine what he could do with it. And it was going to all deal with the crew of the USS Discovery. Can you understand now why he was tapped on the shoulder? If he had just chosen the Columbia or the Challenger or the Endeavor.
No, it's twofold. Also too good. It's both together. It's just safer to say don't. Safer to say don't.
Yeah. Well, but ultimately what they said in the guidelines is you can't crowdfund more than $50,000, which means that if Tommy had wanted to, and if he was willing to make two 15-minute fan films, which he probably wouldn't have been able or willing to do, he could have crowdfunded $100,000 and done it that way. But he did not want to do that, and I don't blame him. But
ruining the vision. It's like, well, at that point, why even do it? But Robert says, "Please let Mon Capitan know I'll be less likely to check in from now on." Oh, hope you're okay, Robert. Hope you're okay. But I think people really want me to look at the Indiegogo, so let's do a update. James Marston, Fleet Admiral. That is the top tier. 119%.
Wow.
8,958. The joy of the teamwork. So I said one. Oof. Goodness.
By the way, I'm looking at this in America. You're just showing things in pounds. I want people to know what I'm looking at is a $10,644 goal, and you're now well over 12,700. So kudos to you, Sam, and your donors.
Yeah.
And once again, you've done this the right way.
Thank you.
And indeed, I'm going to suggest.
Yes, damn, it really is.
I don't want to keep it. But I don't want to. I don't want to. Take advantage of your Trekyards folks. But if there are folks in there who are more generous to Star Trek fan films and want to support more Star Trek fan films out there, you may want to let them know about Avalon's and Dreadnought Dominion's crowdfunding campaigns when they happen.
Well, when we do in the last 2 years anyway, we have specifically because we love the ships and we know a live like this, 50 people. You guys are passionate fuckers. But the ship videos are what gets the thousands of views, and so when Avalon and Romulan War did their crowdfunders, we did two if not one ship videos and got 20,000 views each. So that was kind of our help because it keeps it formal and yet not. And certainly I've already got Randy and Gary booked into about the Dominion because now they've got a brand new version of the ship, which is brilliant, and a new space station which I designed. Hey, so I'm definitely looking forward to bringing them on, and certainly these are fun lives because I don't have to edit, which is great. And I certainly support all those guys. Otherwise I wouldn't be given my time. But clearly now, guys, the internal goal must be 120%. I mean, a round number a round number must be gotteth.
Round numbers, but you know what's going to happen. You're going to reach 120%. You're going to get greedy and say, "We got to get to 125%, guys." Just, I mean, 125. Just think about that. That's like 25% over.
But I'm not being greedy. They're being generous. I was happy at 107 when I came in. They are being amazing, and they know very well they're going to get really cool stuff for it. Speaking of them,
now what if they? Oh. Yeah, and by the way, you're going to be on for how long? How long is this video going to last for?
I mean, I'm still awake. I've got genuinely stuff to show, and so I'll probably stay on until that stuff to show has been showed. So you're welcome to jump off whenever you need to. But we can certainly keep chatting. So at least another.
At some point, I have to start, grilling the burgers.
Yes, at least another hour was on my schedule.
Oh, okay, because I'm in Southern California, so I've got some smash burgers I'm going to make tonight on the grill.
Well, I'm interested then. I will show the Stargate teaser. I'd like to know your thoughts about that because that is not your repertoire, but I'm sure you have thoughts on it in general. Assuming you're a Stargate fan, I think you are.
A little bit. This is one I've already seen. I just want you to know, everybody else, I'm delayed. So what you're hearing me say right now, I actually said like about 3 or 4 minutes in the past.
No. So it's right about 30 seconds max. We're not that delayed.
It's not 30 seconds. I've looked. It's ridiculous. More than 30. I don't know. Right now for me, it's 5:18 and 18 seconds. But anyway, so I've got my YouTube is silenced because I'm not hearing myself on YouTube. If I go back over there.
Yeah, you're 25 seconds out.
25 seconds out. Whatever.
Oh my God, Nick, go to sleep. Nick, go to sleep.
Nick. Is Nick still awake?
He is.
What time is it for you right now?
1:19. And I would have invited you on, but I assumed you would be asleep. Jonathan is awake because he's in a different time zone.
Yeah, I mean, it's Nick. Would Nick like to come on?
I mean, Nick.
Would he like to come on? I'd love to see Nick.
I assume you're sleepy.
Can you get 2 of us on?
I'm sure you got stuff to say, Nick. But oh my God, new contribution. Michael, 20 lieutenant level, phenomenal. I love a lieutenant.
And do your viewers know who Nick is?
He's this guy.
They don't know who I am.
Well, I mean, they should know Nick. I mean, they see him every time we do the pitch video. There he is, Nick Cook. One of the, I would consider the most legacy fan film creator now out there. The longest running.
One of the longest runnings.
But still running. I mean, Corley's gone.
But still running.
I think he's got to be the last. Yeah. The last giant. I consider him.
Yeah. And Nick is also, there's certain people in fan films that, you can list as the nicest guy in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's in Scotland, I can say world. And Nick is.
Yeah.
I mean, there's certain people in Star Trek fan films. Michael L. King in Oklahoma, nicest guy in the world.
Seems like it, yeah.
There's so many people out there that are just truly good-hearted people. Yes, there's a number of people with egos and there's negative trolls out there and whatever. But I'm not in fan films to deal with those people or to deal with those people any more than I have to. But there are just so many people who are just so nice, and they're just doing. And Sam is one of them. He's a fan. He loves Star Trek. He wants to make Star Trek. He's asking you to help him make Star Trek with your money. But the fact is, he would do this anyway, which is kind of funny because when he launched his campaign, he had already made one of the 6 shorts. And I said, you're trying to fund 6 shorts and you already made one of them. This is not a good way to explain to people, I need your money to make the shorts. It's basically saying, I will make the shorts anyway. But I said, you could make a piece of it. You made that nice little teaser trailer for A Long Way From Home. I thought that would have been nice to launch with, but no, he had to, make a whole fandom. And then another one, then the mini one. Because you can't help yourself. You're like that person at the starting gate that just runs around the track 3 different times before the gun.
And it's funny, I was not this gung-ho when I was working on Appeals films, but it was the pandemic and then thinking outside the box to create these very creatively small films but a lot of oomph floodgates, really floodgates. And I have such a limited access to actors and costumes, and this, you know, as we know, hey, Nick can make costumes, bloody genius. But there are hard costs involved in making things. You know, I might be able to do 50 CG shots, fantastic, but I can't just make costumes. I can't just make and tailor them, etc. Especially when the standard is so high. Once you set a standard, it kind of sucks. You've got to at least maintain, you know, especially costumes. And it just costs. You know, I did a tailoring with Nim. Went to the tailor in the local. I'll try and convert it to dollars. I spent $375 on tailoring, not on costumes, on tailoring. That's a cost. That's a cost. They're not going to do it for free. What are you on about? And that's just a real cost. So, you know, but it is worth it.
I got very lucky with Interlude. Karen Shuey was our costumer. She drove up from Tallahassee to Atlanta, Georgia, which is like 11-hour drive. Her son actually had to drive her because she's a little old to make the trip by herself. Her son is actually sitting in the engineering spot on the Artemis, and you can see him for like half a second. He was so happy to be there. But Karen was there 4 days, 2 days before our shoot, 2 days during our shoot, 4 days, and pretty much just asked for gas and some food money.
Yeah.
And hotel money. I had to pay for her hotel for 4 days. You know, people wonder where my money went. You know, it basically went for gas and food and hotel. I mean, that was
it
like
mounts up so
that,
quickly.
You know, and costumes.
Yeah.
And equipment rental, and the caterer and whatever. I mean, it's amazing. It's nickel and dime. It's way up. But we had Karen there, and she was able to sew and tailor everybody's stuff like literally on the set. I mean, we had
amazing.
You know, Ray Myers, who was my biggest donor, was also going to appear in Interlude as an extra. And Alex sees Ray. We have him in an engineering outfit, and Alec looks at him and he's like, "No, you need to be the Artemis exec."
Fancy.
You know, he has a good look, and he is the Artemis exec. But he needed to have a gold tunic. We didn't have a gold tunic to fit him because Karen had tailored everything to his. You know, we got all the measurements beforehand, so she'd done all this work beforehand. Anyway, so she's literally there. She's ripping the patch off of a gold one. She's sewing a new patch onto it. She's got to switch from Ares to Artemis. She's taking stuff in the sleeves, and she's adding more braids to it. And she's doing this literally at warp speed because we need him on set in the next like hour.
Yep.
You know, and Alec has made this last minute decision. You can actually see this on one of my videos on Fan Film Factor of when we decided to change his costume color. Anyway, at the end of all of this, I wanted to give Karen like a little extra. I mean, she had just done so much for us, but I didn't have a lot left to give. But I was just like, you know, and I think I gave her like an extra like $25 or $50 of, you know, you're not supposed to pay people, but it was just more like, you know, go treat yourself to a nice dinner or whatever. And when she gets this money, she looks at her son Steve and she goes, and she was so touched. She said, "This is so nice." And she looks at Steve and she says, "We are going to eat well on our way back. We are going to go to Denny's." And I'm like, okay, so Denny's. I felt at that moment, I felt so awful for only giving her whatever I gave her. You know, these people, they do it, you know, for love. They just, you know, and of course, tailors are not easy to find. So, you know, Sam has to pay Taylor real money.
Real money.
So, like, you know, and unfortunately, there's the shipping back and forth. But, you know, if you wanted to just send stuff to Karen, she'd probably do it for ridiculously low amounts of money to tailor your stuff. Just give her but then you're going to be paying it all international shipping. So, you know.
And what if it doesn't fit? I mean, there is that trueness of she gets the costume, they tailor it, boom, you're done. Like that. No middleman. It works, and it's and the difference it makes is extreme. And for Killian, you know, this is his picture from a decade ago, and his uniform went walkabout a decade ago. So we had to give him a new one, and it was well off. But we knew it would be because he's like a rugby player now, big chunky guy. And so yeah, just buy a big one, tailor whatever it costs. That's what it costs, you know. Yeah, and that's the thing. We had that tailored, the original one in Temporal Anomaly, and it was a very low end costume. It was the one that was worse, the least good one, and that was, as you know, no budget basically. But tailoring it, massive difference, and then color correction in post, Not that yellow in post.
Yep.
Boy, and
Not
then
that yellow.
you don't even think it's that bad in the film. Your eyes not drawn to it. Like, you know it's not a high quality one, but you're not thinking about it. But I may or may not have Nick. He may or may not be at his computer. He may or may not be saying he wants to join in. I believe he is. So let's see. And if not, then he can tell us in the other chat. And I did this with another podcast, just like, yes, it's late, but I'm excited. So let's just do more people and stay up, because why not? Because why not?
There he is.
All right, this is terrible framing.
Oh.
So now I've got to work out new framing. Nick, it's not a reveal yet. Wait for the reveal. Hold on. I have to make us full screen, basically. Okay, hold on. Hello, Nick. Say hi.
Hi. Hi. Good. Hi. Welcome. Hello.
Nick,
I
did
need to get into uniform.
Good
Go
evening.
talk to Nick. I'm going to get into uniform.
Oh, good
I'll be
morning.
right back.
I don't know. Evening, morning. Yeah, I guess it's morning now.
It is. What are we doing? Good. What? Oh, is it? Oh,
there's
he's...
delay.
Yeah, it shouldn't be bad as he said, but don't watch that side of it. So Nick, did you hear? And let me refresh. We're now at 120%, £9,000, which for us English people, that's a lot. Gosh, thoughts live on stage.
Awesome. I did see. Awesome.
Goodness, yeah.
Thank you, everyone. It's awesome to see it. I don't have the words. It's great. It's so exciting. So exciting.
Yeah, it's people turned out. You know, people turned out. They didn't have to. They really didn't have to, and they did. Okay, now you're full screen, so you can now pimp out what you're wearing and tell us about the hard work went into it, because hard work went into it.
Yeah, well, one of the films that Sam, this is very weird because I've got YouTube up as well there, so it's a delay on there. But yeah, so one of the films Sam pitched to me involved me playing Hunter, who is my character from Intrepid, at an earlier point in time, so you need a Voyager costume.
And earlier than ever you've played before, even though you're now the oldest you've ever been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, my Voyager costume doesn't fit quite as well as it used to. And my wife and my daughter came down with COVID about a week ago, so I'm having to isolate. So I made a new one. Yay, new one.
And I'm sure people I'm saying, wait, you just made a new one. And
yeah.
The tone of your voice is like, well, yeah. And my response to you was, wait, what? And I think everyone else is like, oh, okay, sure.
Well, in my defense, I had the pieces lying around, and they've been lying around for a few years. So, I just put them together. But annoyingly, my sewing machine died towards the end, so I had to order another one on Amazon on Saturday. It came on Sunday.
Oh, something.
I know.
Dear me.
All right, I'm back.
Yeah.
And yes,
Hi, John.
And I was tempted to uniform.
Good choice.
But I felt like I was gonna not uniform this one time, and now I'm heavily outnumbered.
This one is incredibly comfortable. The jumpsuits are actually really comfortable.
Am I on screen now, by the way?
You are, although I would go to the left a bit because there isn't much flexibility with where you're. Yeah, pretty much there. You're give or take there.
Look at this. Vice Admiral.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I got these tailored specifically. When I first got this, this was looser. And nobody knows this. Nobody realizes for TOS tunics, they're like ridiculously, tight on the sleeves.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually had the tailor take this in, but this was one of the very, very few licensed non-Anovos tunics of TOS. And it was created specifically for the Star Trek exhibition tour that went, and they were gone in like 3 weeks. So I went there, it was in Long Beach. And this was like $50, and I didn't have enough cash with me. And my friend David bought it for me. He was like, we three all need to have tunics. So David got a blue shirt, and Mark got a red shirt, and I got the gold tunic.
Was that back in the late 2000s?
Yes, sometime. I think it was like 2005.
I think I saw that exhibition in San Diego.
Yeah, it was in a bunch of different places, and then they ended up like they had been in Long Beach for a bit, and they ended up not being able to pay their bills, and so the guys that own the Queen Mary Convention Center literally locked them out.
Ooh.
They said, if you're not going to pay your bills, we're not going to let you have your stuff. And it was an interesting standoff. I don't remember quite what happened, but that was an amazing exhibition because they had
Enterprise D bridge. Was that the D bridge?
They had the D bridge. They had a partial D bridge, and they had a partial TOS bridge. And so you could take pictures on both. And then they had crew quarters.
Mm-hmm.
They had the TNG crew quarters, and they had a pseudo engineering,
Mm-hmm.
which had like the table, but
I need
the
more
warp
of these.
core was.
Annoys me. There's not more of these.
Yeah, it's sad.
But what we'll do though, because there's 3. I didn't plan for 3. So Jonathan, if you want to say anything to Nick specifically, then we'll swap out Jonathan for the first hour, and then we'll have Nick for a little bit because I'm sure he's more sleepy than you, Jonathan. And obviously you got to do burgers.
I'm not gonna hang around too long.
Yeah. So Jonathan, say one thing to Nick that you want to say to him. That since you've got him in Voyager era, since he's time traveled for you.
Oh, Nick. No, Nick is still one of my favorite people in fan films. And it's nice to hear a real Scottish accent as opposed to what James Doohan did.
My accent is a complete mishmash. I mean, I'm English. It's just
that's
it's
true.
bits of everything.
But your wife is more of a pure Scottish accent.
Oh, she is very pure Scottish. Oh yeah.
Now her name is Lucita, correct?
Lucita, yeah.
Okay.
So her father was Portuguese.
I was wondering about that because I always say, like, how is a Scottish person named with either a Spanish or Portuguese name? And so now I understand.
It's funny actually because her dad was Portuguese, but her mum had a daughter from a previous marriage, and her dad had 3 kids from a previous marriage as well. And her mum and dad, she was like the single child from those 2. And her mum to this day says that her name is African. I don't get it. It's clearly Portuguese, Spanish, but whatever. She also has a sister called Abilene, who is named after the town Abilene because she liked the movie A Town Called Abilene, and she thought the name was cool, but she misspelt it. It's funny. You need to know the family. It's quite funny. It's probably not funny if you don't know.
By the way, Sam, I just popped back over to YouTube, and I'm not sure what the delay is, but I'm seeing 2 Nicks, and I'm not seeing me. I don't know if it's like delayed. Oh no, I'm coming back down. Oh, there I am. I'm coming back down in my thing.
Yeah,
I'm about to sit down. That's how far behind.
I really think you paused or something because our live is well ahead of yours. I don't know what's happening because we're up to.
Okay, I have no idea. Maybe I did pause. Who knows what the heck happened?
Who knows?
Anyway, but Nick, really quick, how are your wife and daughter doing with the COVID? Are they? Is it serious? Is it light? What's
well, my daughter is actually doing okay. She's not been too bad at all. I mean, she's been unwell, but she's been okay. My wife's been pretty sick. So she actually got the first dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine about 2 weeks ago, maybe 2.5 weeks ago. So she wasn't fully protected. I mean, I'm lucky I work in healthcare. So, I mean, I've been vaccinated since early February. So I've had no symptoms. I've tested negative twice now. I'm going to do one more test tomorrow, but I'm not expecting any issues there at all. So yeah, vaccines work, But yeah, I mean, they're certainly on the mend now. They are certainly on the mend now. Our isolation ends on Wednesday. So that's good. I'm looking forward to being able to go outside again. I still have a lot of weight to lose from the last year and a half. Yeah.
Yeah, I gained my COVID 15.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to being able to go back to the gyms had just reopened like 3 weeks ago. And I've just started to go back to the gyms, and I've got to isolate for actually it was 10 days. Then it became 12 days because then Lucy came down with it. So, but
you got a uniform out of it.
Fine. I have, and it's very comfy.
And I'm so thrilled to see you in that. Yeah, because it's not one you've ever done, like in terms of what we've seen. So it's like ha 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 ha.
I have made one before actually. I've got a jacket version of it.
So you did make full jumpsuit then, because you kept showing me the top.
I've never. This is a full jumpsuit.
Ah, good.
I've never made the jumpsuit before, but yeah, I do have a jacket. Yeah.
It's jumpsuit or nothing with those. It really
wasn't
is
finished,
Yeah.
So
is this going to be a Daniel? Is this going to be a Daniel Hunter obviously prior to Intrepid, is this going to be like a Commander Daniel Hunter, or perhaps even lower rank?
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be cool.
I think Lieutenant Commander we discussed. So yeah,
it varies.
I am probably going to have to dye my hair before then, but that's
CGI.
I'm getting more grey in it than I used to have.
No, not on my shoots. But Jonathan, thank you so much for jumping in. Been a pleasure. Hopefully you guys learned some things, and of course tell them where they can find you that isn't here.
Well, the best places to find me, go to fanfilmfactor.com. Read my blog, please. It's good. You'll like it. You'll find stuff on it that is long, and stuff that's not so long, but mostly stuff that's long. But you'll take a deep dive into Star Trek fan films. You can also find me on the Fan Film Forum Facebook group, so you can certainly go there. That is a good place to be if you like Star Trek fan films. And Jonathan at fanfilmfactor.com is my email. Don't abuse it. But anyway, Sam, once again, congratulations on a really good haul.
Thank you.
For the what looks like 55 people that are watching right now.
Yeah, I mean,
53.
You guys are crazy.
And thank you for. I've been watching these little donations come into that. How much have you made on the donation part of this? The live donations for YouTube. Do you have a tally on that yet?
Well, we don't talk about that obviously on stream, but we did match funds, and we always what's the word? We round down, to be fair, on Trekyards, but we matched funds a good chunk, which helped in the middle. So that was always nice to see. But good amount. These guys came through just for, as we did in the middle, just by super chatting. Trekyards matched funds, so it's actually two donations in one, which was fantastic. So
that's awesome.
Very nice.
So you guys who are watching, you're
really helping.
You're doing good for fan films because Sam does good for fan films. So we want more Sam.
And there's definitely definitely bonus short material budget here, which is nice.
I think as well. I mean, I don't want to underplay just how much Sam does contribute to the fan film community, because I mean he does effects for the large majority of our productions, and without him, I think he has helped re-energize a lot of the fan film community in recent years, and I think most of us are very grateful for that. And that's certainly why whenever Sam asks me to, like, will you come and help out on one of these things, will you come and be in one of these things, I jump at it. And partly because actually, I owe him, because he does all this effects work for me, but also because it's a fun experience. He's a good guy. He's a genuinely nice guy. So why wouldn't I support what he's doing? And yeah, my answer is always yes, as long as it's practical for me to say yes. But
as long as he can keep looking younger, that's all I need.
Yeah, well, I'm trying. It's like
don't get older, don't get better.
There's a reason I've got a new bathroom. It's like the old one was stained with the blood of virgins. I need more, one that's not stained with the blood of virgins. So Sorry, did I say that out loud?
It's fine. All this is the Voyager costume, the accent. They can't hear anything between. But Jonathan, thanks so much, and we will talk to you soon. Bye, Jonathan.
Take care, everybody.
Good to see you, John.
And now I've got to rebalance everybody because it's only meant for two. But no, excellent costume, well done. Yeah, jumpsuits. I think fans underestimate there's something about the all-encompassingness of the jumpsuit that I don't think people appreciate.
There definitely is, and I think that's a strong reason why I think they went to doing that whole jumpsuit look on the modern shows, is because it does look very clean. It is slimming as well.
It can be,
which is a good thing for some of us.
Yeah,
it can be. So it's just a sleek look, and the original TNG jumpsuits were not particularly comfortable, and the reason they went to jackets and pants, and I think that's a fairly well-known fact. But certainly, when they did originally the Deep Space Nine jumpsuit, and then it became the Voyager jumpsuit by default, but it's a much more comfortable outfit. I do have a screen-used First Contact jumpsuit, and again, it's a very comfortable outfit. So there's a lot of reasons why they went to these, and I think they look good and they feel good. And actually, when you put them on, because there's a tightness to them, but they're also loose, it makes you kind of take on a certain stance as well. So they're great costumes. And actually, I'd forgotten how much I like this costume until I put it on recently.
Which I'm thrilled to hear.
It's like I was fitting it and stuff like that. I was like, ooh, this actually, I like this. It's nice.
Yeah, and I mean, it makes people pop in. The first contact, while it looks crisp, it's dark. It really is, but it has that quality. And the TNG one is good, but it's the black. It works well, but the Voyager, it makes you pop instantly.
See, I like the kind of the TNG uniform a lot. I'm a huge fan of the TNG uniform, and yes, you can do the Picard maneuver in a jumpsuit actually, but funnily enough, I just watched Generations yesterday, and I love the way they use the two costumes together in Generations. I know opinions are varied on that, but I think it works very well, and it's a very pleasant, very comfortable outfit, and the combination of the two costumes together works really well. One of the reasons I quite like, I wish in hindsight I'd set Intrepid further back in the timeline, because then I would have taken advantage of all those costumes. The other thing is, at the time I had a lot more Voyager and TNG costumes, and I ended up having to make an awful lot of First Contact costumes that I probably could have avoided making. And these are easier to make, because the First Contact costumes are really, really finicky. There's all that quilting and
it's easy to make them not look right. Very easy.
It's easy to. The important thing with those costumes is they look better when they're well fitted. I mean, that's true with any of the ones, but the First Contact uniforms themselves, when they're well fitted, they look really sharp. Nims looks fine on her. She's borrowed one of ours, but it's not properly fitted to her. So by that, it doesn't look as nice as I would like it to look, if that makes sense.
We will be seeing her at some point for a joint shoot, so something may or may not be done for that, or during that.
Well, you're gonna have a sewing machine this time. I have a story for the Convergent shoot, actually.
Although,
so,
can I brief? We got 2 super chats are waiting, so keep that in mind. And then but Matt Ballman said a while ago. Sorry about that. I just realised that the progress bar for this campaign is the warp core that he built. That just made me giggle and glee. That's freaking brilliant, Sam. Yes, it's a little bit far down the page, but yes, that's warp core Matt Ballman built. I did a quick little thing for because I thought it was a nice summary of the goal. And also another super chat by Fleetpaw once again. Sam, that is bloody brilliant. Congratulations. Fantastic. Yes, thank you. Sorry. Continue. Nick, I'm talking to you.
So yeah, when we went down for the Convergent shoot, and Robin and I, who both do costuming, got down there, and Sam had said, "Oh, I want you to make some alterations to this costume." I went, "Oh yeah, fine. Where's your sewing machine?" He went, "Sewing machine." It's like Robin and I are sitting in one of the rooms at the side, hand stitching cuff bands on this costume, and we're like, "Why are we hand stitching this?" It's like, I don't do hand stitch. Anyway, yeah, funny. We just expected a sewing machine. You know, you can get little portable ones now that are like almost like, yay big.
That's pretty cool.
I may have to buy one, actually.
Well, my dad avoids it like the plague because he wants that old school, like real, like high end. He's a Roman reenactor, so everything that hand stitch vibe is important to him. Even though yes, he would say,
well, Roman reenactor, they're gonna have to hand do their stuff. I'm making 24th century costumes. I want a sewing machine.
I know you do, but we have some more. We have some more Indiegogo contributions. Which I do not know if they've counted 9,000. Let's see. From Mark, he got the Ships of Trek shorts poster, which is the custom Trekyards one. From Moshen, also Ships poster. R. David Boardman, which I believe is Matt Boardman's dad, £50. Unnecessarily amazing. Thank you so much. A comment from David Newmansek. Is a Ships of Trek shorts digital or physical? It is digital, but I'm open to doing physical if you guys want to email me after the fact, because I would like a physical version. You might too. And Grant, £15. Ships of Trek shorts poster. Refresh. 9,073, 120%, which is quite a substantial more than my ask, which is great because, as you can imagine, Nick, my reason for the split filming, out of Doomsday, oh no, can't film it, Nim's ill, swap it into 2 single shorts. The budget was still spent on those 2 shorts. Like, it still cost what it cost, and so my budget ended up going up. So now I've covered that. So now those 2 bonus things are going to be covered without worrying, which is lovely because I had to double self-fund those. And there are certain practical things that need to be costed to get people in, and that's okay. That has to happen. but I've got like several little short, like mini shorts, under 10 minutes that I'd love to do with Nim, to go through her timeline. I've said to you, I think, off a live stream, that most fan films don't do a character journey in the abstract because they want to do other things. I've got my 5 big stories, but the Nim character, and she's excited to explore this, is actually telling, is at the end of the day, be able to watch all the films in order and see a genuine character growth of someone who's lived in this 30 years of history and sense who they are, which you rarely have big character studies in Star Trek fan films for a reason. But if you can make micro shorts and have all the costumes, etc., and be able to push her into the Picard era, jump back to an ensign, do these things, I'm excited by that because it's, again, something not done before, and I tend to have a not done before vibe if I can help it.
It's a good plan.
I've got I'm not going to spoil things on this live, but there's some funny visual gags in 2 of the medium ones. I've mentioned the one with Bring You Down. There's 2 things to bring you down for, as you know, and one of them, where you're in this uniform, definitely is Nim's your tour guide, but Marcus is there as well. That's the trailer for the other, or teaser for the other short, which you appear in, which is the reveal. And it's like the idea that we see both Nim and Marcus in the same film, but never meet, but you know them both, and it's just like, that's where you first meet Nim, you've already known Marcus, and then kind of how that all develops in the potential future.
It's a great plan, and I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, obviously, I've worked with Nim before, and she's actually great fun to bounce off of.
Yep.
But I'm looking forward to working with the other ones as well. I mean, Marcus in particular, he was good fun in his previous film, so it's going to be good to work with him. And actually, I know you've got some interesting ideas for some interesting scenes between the 2 of us, so I'm really looking forward to playing off that, actually.
And not what I associate with either your acting styles. Not that you can't, but not what I associate, and that's going to be really interesting to kind of pull, where are we getting this energy from? Because that's be
That'll be a different energy.
Yeah, and very simple. These are meant to be simple shorts. It's just 2 people on a table, but it's all about the acting. And I know for certain, Nick, you can deliver. That's never my concern. Maybe it's line learning. Maybe that's the issue out of the situation of all the issues. But actual learning, actual delivery, I have no problem. I know you can do it, and so it's just a case of finding the Hunter voice, finding the dynamic, and then letting the scene just play.
I will certainly do my best, and I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. Although you said you're in another hotspot, how is Scotland looking in like, not looking as your plan, but what are you thinking?
I'm in Dundee, and actually I'm in one of the worst hit local area within Dundee at the moment. But we're still in level 2, so hopefully that's not going to change. Hospital admissions have not gone up yet, thankfully. So fingers crossed, things will be fine. I mean, I've got my own stuff to get back to shooting this year. I mean, I've got a crowdfunder we did, a year ago.
Yeah.
Over a year.
Which went great.
So
Congratulations.
It did go great, thank you. But I really need to get that filming, and we've got the cast sitting twiddling their thumbs for like a year now. Yeah, so we need to get back to filming that. And actually, funnily enough, I just messaged the cast tonight to say, look, here's the first scene I want to shoot, to pick back up again. Just a simple short scene, and these are the cast who needs. Can we start talking about dates for this? So my plan is to start shooting that in July.
Yep. We
will see how the whole COVID thing goes, because it is kind of like a watch this space thing at the moment. But I'm fairly optimistic, and obviously, what happens with COVID will determine how soon I can come down to see you as well, and shoot the stuff that we're doing, which will hopefully be non-problematic, but we'll see.
As we've done
it's been an unpredictable year.
Yes. Well, I think now with the certain level of science we're at, if we all test negative and you're all vaccinated, sort of what more do you want? At a certain point, it's like, well, today we're safe.
Yeah.
Exactly. How much more can you possibly do?
Yeah, and I mean, I've been living for the last 8 days in a house with 2 people who are COVID positive and, both symptomatic, and I've had no symptoms and I've tested negative. So I think my vaccination's doing its job.
Yeah. Case study by itself.
So I'm pretty optimistic about that. And, there's a fair chunk of the country's vaccinated now, or at least had at least one shot.
Well, the UK, it's meant to be 70% well, 75% of all adults are either vaccinated or have antibodies, which is
so that is, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. But David asks, is the ship posted physical or digital? It is digital, although, and how many do we actually have? Because I would love to do a physical run as well if you guys want a signed version, because I want a signed version. We have 16. If we get 20, I can just send another message out who wants to then add postage on top of that, because I would think that'd be really fun. So if we get 4 more, we can make it physical for anyone that wants it. So if you want that poster in physical, go get it right now before we end the live. We've obviously still got a few more hours until the overall campaign, but I'll be asleep, hopefully. So 4 more.
I'll definitely be asleep.
Hopefully. So 4 more, we can make it physical, and then it's just a case of you up buy it to physical for the postage, and then we can get those sent off, which I'm thrilled that you guys want it, because I really want to make them. And it's great, because even, I don't know if you noticed, for A Long Way From Home, because that's your station, that Chiron. Let me go get Chiron, let me find it. What's it called? Once More Feeling? No, that's
Chiron Station.
No, what's my film called? Long Way From Home. Because I put a lot of effort into the secondary
ships. It's definitely not Once More with Feeling.
It is not, no. Because I put a lot of effort into what is out there, and I don't know if it actually looked, but you've got the California, which was fun. In the hangar bay, you've got every type of TNG shuttle, because you've got people from all parts of the Federation. You had 2 different Ferengi transports, Ferengi shuttles. So you have Ferengi traders on your station. How do you feel?
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine. You've got a Bajoran classic freighter, and then poking up their head is the TNG Azul, something like that, from what you sent me the assets for originally. So it's one of the original ships from original episodes flying in there in the background.
Kiazi, I can't say that word.
Which I improved the colours of a little bit. So that made its way in.
It was an old mesh.
Yeah. But it made its way in, which I was quite pleased with.
Interestingly, most people won't know that the Chiron station is kind of loosely based on the station from the Borg 4D invasion. And it was built
Copernicus.
The Copernicus station.
That makes sense.
Basically, it was built for us by Dennis Bailey, who, if anybody knows, wrote the Tresorian intersection for Axanar, but he also wrote 2 episodes for Star Trek: The Next Generation, Tin Man and First Contact. So, one of the writers from TNG designed and built that mesh, which is kind of cool.
It's crazy.
He also did a few effect shots for us back in the day. So,
crazy.
He's a good guy, actually. I did an independent sci-fi film with him about 10 years ago that never got finished, but... Well, they finished shooting it, but it's kind of it's languished in post-production hell ever since. So I know there's a bit of a push to try and get it finished at the moment. So I think it will come out one of these days. But, that's one I'm quite looking forward to eventually being finished one day. I may be in a nursing home by the time it comes out, but as long as I get
it's okay, I'll cast you as younger, nice. So you'll feel young at heart.
I can still get into my costume from that shoot. So
Nick, I know you're 65, but can you play Ensign again?
Yes, sonny.
Okay, now grow hair and diet. Wear the hunter wing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be great?
Aging is not good. I oppose aging.
You've done remarkably well. I think you've done remarkably
that's
well.
Very kind of you to say.
It's the subtleties. But you've done. I don't know if you saw. You probably didn't. But we did a live, and I showed a picture of Killian from Temporal Only Distant Hope. A picture side by side of him, and 10 years, and like, yes, he's.
Well, I have more hair than he does, so.
winning. And I think you probably should go soon, which is absolutely fine. Let me.
Yeah, I am gonna sign off fairly shortly.
Jump back onto the YouTube and make sure it's up to date. I'm gonna do a reveal because you guys have been incredible, and we have 2 new contributions, which means we might get to our physical poster goal. So I'm going to put on the live stream in a moment a little reveal, and
you might actually make 10,000.
Oh, I doubt that. That'll take a big or don't. Hey, sure, big donuts to help. But I'm
things have happened.
They have. But I'm not greedy, but I will certainly spend it on making more fan films. Oh, as daft as I am. Right, let's make sure we've got these. Reset Premiere. Okay, but we're now. So this is going to be the first time Nick's seeing. It's a previs. Keep that in mind, guys. It's nowhere near finished. But we're talking about space stations. This is a reveal of something that's happening. Only 3 people know is going to happen. You guys get to watch it brand new. So take a look. You can let me know when you're doing it.
Looks like the Briar Patch to me. It is. Ah. Good old Hidden Frontier. You know, those guys really are, they really are the grandfathers of the modern fan film kind of community. And I think they often don't get the amount of credit that they deserve. Also, I just want to say that I know John was saying very nice things about me, but really Rob Caves is he really is just about the nicest person in the fan film community, and he is almost certainly the most humble person in the fan film community. And actually, you should get him on Trekyards for an interview one of these days, because Rob is just a lovely guy. Although he doesn't like talking about himself very much. He does like talking about his cast and other stuff. So,
well, I don't think any of us do per se. Like, we let the work speak for itself.
I think that's true. Well, I like talking about my work, but I like
that's
talking
what I mean.
about the things that I did wrong and the mistakes I made, and saying, well, I wanted it to turn out like this way, but it turned out like this way. So, I like talking about the journey of it and what we did wrong and what we did right and what I enjoyed and what and I really hated that happened the way that happened. And I'm a huge Star Trek fan. I'm a huge Star Trek nerd.
No,
I love this.
Really?
Yeah. But you know what? The fan film thing is just such a fun thing, and it's actually, I think it's one of the purest expressions of being a fan of the thing, is to make fan films of the thing you love. And it's just, as much as I love talking about Star Trek, I love talking about fan films and making them and stuff, because it is a passion for me, and it's just an amazing hobby.
Well, and let's be honest.
Anyway, I'm talking too much about it now. Anyway.
Oh, that's great. And
also, yes, Matt Boardman, he is just a fantastic guy.
He is. But let's be honest though, right now, getting the cameras of a video quality that's good enough is straightforward. I'm doing CGI that's good enough. You got costumes that are beautiful. Acting is then the only thing really to worry about, but that's certainly, you've got the experience. So we can make stuff that at least we are proud of it, and that's a damn achievement. Whereas even 10 years ago when you started, the cameras were not there, the sound equipment was not there, the costumes, you couldn't really appreciate them because the cameras weren't there. There's now a level here that really it can be raised, and I'm really excited if I can get up to Scotland and film you with my Blackmagic 6K, give you the first true cinema treatment of your characters. I really would love to do that for you guys, because then I'm just there to make the visuals, you're there to make everything else, and then cinema looking Hunter, that would be great. Because it's hard to make green screen look cinematic, because if everything's digital, whereas if you're on real locations, that depth of field, so nice. Makes me happy.
I mean, funnily enough, talking about acting, because obviously acting is one of the things that often we do get criticism for, and a lot of fan films get criticism for it.
Let's say comments, not criticism.
Yeah. But I mean, criticism's fair. I'm not gonna say yay or nay to any of that stuff. But one of the things I've found is when you're making these films, and you are usually doing it with a skeleton crew, and you're not paying people. It is hard to get people to volunteer their free time, because free time is a valuable resource. So, and there's only so far that goodwill gets you. And what you usually find is you have too few people trying to do too many of the jobs, and I'm part of that. I'm always trying to do too many things at once. So I'm trying to oversee the shoot. I'm trying to keep an eye on the script. I'm trying to act in it. I'm trying to manage the costumes and the props, because I do the costumes and the props as well.
And that's why you said coming down to Convergence.
And also I write them, so I'm trying to keep an eye on script continuity.
Oh God, yeah.
So it's a lot to do, and it's difficult to concentrate on acting when you're doing that, because your head's not in it. You're too distracted. So I mean, I would freely say that there's a number of times when my performance is not what it probably should have been or could have been, because I'm trying to do too many things at once and carry too many hats at once.
Well, that's why you said doing the Convergence shoot was so good, because you just got to act.
Absolutely, and that was great fun. That was great fun. Yeah, I could still probably do better if I was, yeah,
More time.
the
It's always
rush
about
down
time.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
More time would have been lovely, yeah. And that wasn't anything down to you guys. That was just down to the logistics of the time. And well, I'm going to get down there, and then I need to get away to train.
And then Robin's
to
an
get a
hour and a
train, to get
half.
a plane, and
Nonsense in
yeah,
between.
I mean, I'm hopeful that this next time will be
Much.
a little bit more chill about it all.
Yeah. But briefly before you
Which
go,
I'm looking forward to.
Me too. It'll be simpler. But briefly before you go, I do actually want to know what you think of this image, this visual that I showed you.
It's absolutely fascinating, and
Yeah.
you know,
Good
is
work.
that Robin's ship towing Discovery?
It is. Well, it's
Or
not
a version
Discovery.
of Discovery.
It is Robin's
Okay,
ship though.
It's another Crossfield class ship, but that is kind of cool, and I love that it's got Deep Space 12 in there.
And I'm basically, this is me announcing. I'm very, very proud to announce this is the first time Deep Space 12 will have been used in a fan film officially in what, going on 10, 12, 13 years, with blessing from Rob Caves. So very pleased to be bringing back. Now, not to say we're actually doing a full crossover, because that is not what this is, but we are going to be taking place there for at least part of this story and getting to see it back living with motion, with new background ships, etc. in HD for the first time in a very long time. So I'm very pleased. So you mentioned Chiron, and this is a lovely way that, because of my work with all of you guys, this is a crossover which takes no effort except from me. But the value of the cool factor of like, oh my god, this is so cool, and a visual you never thought you were going to see, etc. And Robin was pretty chuffed getting to dock there, because he never that show was stopped. That show, finished, and yet he gets to dock at Deep Space 12. That's weird. So yeah, very pleased to say it's back in at least this form.
You know, I know Rob has spoken. Well, certainly, middle last year, Rob was talking about doing a follow-up to Hidden Frontier. I need to catch up with him again, actually, because he was sending me scripts for that. But, I don't know where he is with that now. And obviously, a lot of things have changed because of COVID and logistics, and things have been worse than I think anybody thought they would be. So, I don't know. I would still like to see that happen. I know there's a part for me in there, so I would, of course, like to see that happen. And any excuse to work with Risha Denny, who I just adore, because she's just like a lovely person.
I don't know if she's still available, but it'd be fun to have her in something at some point.
I know that Rob was approaching her to reprise Shelby.
I don't know if it's gone as well as it could have. I think is where we're at with that. My lovely diplomacy there.
I've not spoken to Rob for a couple of months, so I need to catch up with him. But there's been a lot going on.
And as you're about to head off, we've got 4 new donations. Let's see what we have. We have, or more who? Jamal Taylor, the ship poster. And John Baldwin, the ship poster. I just deleted that one. Oh dear. 1 second. Let's go to the delete folder. Let's move it back. Oh, so easy to do. Yes, Jamal Taylor, Lieutenant Commander as well. 35. Wow, thank you. Hijal, Yusa, amazing, 15 for the poster, and also David, also 15 for the poster, all the ship poster. Are we at? We're now at 122%, 9,153, and we now have 20 posters. So if anybody would like the Ships of Trek Shorts poster as a physical, printed out and signed, or not signed, if you think my signature will devalue or value it, hey, up to you. Please send a message to the Trek Shorts Facebook page and let me know, and we can work on that personally together. That'd be great to get that on the wall, because boys can have a lot of ships, and the more I do with you, Nick, the more we may include background ships, as in more Chiron, etc. Maybe even, what's that alien race you have that you might not have it ever again?
Oh, the Sarai.
Yeah. No idea. Who knows? They might be in there. Any last word, Nick? As you join us for this lovely little second half.
Full, and I can go to bed because it's now after 2:00. Anyway, it was great chatting. I shall see you later. Thank you, everyone who's donated.
Seriously.
And thanks for having me on, Sam. I'll catch you up probably tomorrow, I guess.
We've got stuff to talk about, yeah.
Yeah. Enjoy the rest of your night. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Thanks, Nick. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What has this been, guys? What has this been? How do we even express the feelings? I don't even know. I do know. It's amazing. That's the expression. Now I have to bring myself back. I'll be honest. I'll be totally honest. I was not expecting this sort of reaction. I was pleasantly happily resound to what were we at? Hitting like 105%. and I was going to be absolutely thrilled. No question, wonderfully thrilled. Could not have asked for more. And obviously, as you hopefully you guys felt, I wasn't necessarily pushing this as much as I could have been. This was meant to be a fun, interesting conversation for you all about fan films. Getting both his guests on, truly amazing. I would love to have had Nick on if I had realised. And then he happened to jump into the chat. Oh my god, brilliant. So that was fantastic. And then being able to talk to you about fan films, give me some more history, give me some more things, some exclusives. That is amazing. And certainly just be here and see this rise so massively. Because, again, let's bring this down for a second. My goal is 75, right? Knowing in my head, I need about 82 for it to get 75. Right, 82. To hit 91, 68. I mean, that's... you know what I mean? That is, it adds so... I mean, this is what I kind of hoped for, really hoped for going in, because these other ideas do take budget. And I don't want to do a crowdfunder, etc. And so be able to jump in and have that budget to be able to, you know, because obviously I'm going to spend over my own money. You know what I mean? This is what I have to spend on props and say, I'll spend whatever I need. Apart from that, yeah, that's all good. It's more a case of you guys want to support and help and be part of this journey with me, with us, with this entire team. Yes, Dystopian, I absolutely would. You know, so very amazing. Thank you so much. And this makes things a lot easier for me because there's a lot more I want to do and I feel a ton more confidence to do them. And the things I bought for these things, that's great. And I don't, you know, hey, 125%, as Nick joked earlier. If we can get that before the end of the thing in 6 hours time, I will not be here. I'll be hopefully asleep. We'll see. 125 round number is always nice, but I mean, hey, we are there. We are truly amazing. But this is Jericho. Any of those fancy prints from previous Indiegogos available? Which perks? Which prints? Let me know. And I mean, I am sure that we can work something out. Put it that way. This will all go directly into the funding. And so if you want to get some fancy posters from other campaigns, I'm happy to... Oh yes, that's, yeah, I'm happy to work out some bonus prints from the Convergence campaign. That's absolutely great. So if you guys want to look back at the Convergence campaign, see if there's any things you want from that, hey, go for it. But we've got a new contribution, oh my god, and Bilal, hi there. I know I butchered that. And £10 does make a difference. Thank you so much. Ensign level. God, let's just see how many numbers we have. Let's have a look. We've got 13 ensigns, 27 Defiant crew members, which is actually a lot. 18. Oh, I am good. Okay. 18 Cerritos. Oh, 8, sorry. Cerritos. 10 Defiant, DS9. 20 Trekyards poster. Fantastic. Very happy I'm doing that one then. 21 Lieutenant level. That's amazing. 7 Lieutenant Commander. Fantastic. Ooh, 24 Commander. That is so many. And for that, you get all the posters and all the soundtracks. And that's a lot of soundtracks. There's going to be so many soundtracks. 18 Captain level. For 80, in which all posters physical. Whew. That's going to be great. There's going to be some big poster tubes. 0 Admirals. No one wants Admiral. No one. 7 want Fleet Admiral. Oh my god. And Fleet Admiral, you also get signed script, which we have to work out which one you want. Producer credit. I love that credit. Voice in a short. Got to work that out for people. The Horizon MSD print. And I think someone else got that as well. Which I'm very proud of. It's a very, very detailed MSD. Because the Tim who did that for us really cared. Like, very... Like, because you can put details that aren't real. He was very fine-tuned with it. And the exclusive casting crew t-shirt, which I'm really actually happy about. Because that's like... That top tier basically funds like a shooting day each. Oh my god. And so like you are like absolutely part of the team. And so I'm so looking forward to making a bunch of those and getting them out to people. That's going to be so much fun. So much fun. Fleetport, 120% and 20 posters. Bloody brilliant, amazing. Yes. Lisa Jericho. Yeah, that is a long time ago. Well, I think we have a couple of... That's a Doug sign thing. I think that's Trekyards. That's not this. Sorry. Get that on a separate campaign. Fleet Paw Samuel, I definitely want a physical poster signed by you. What needs to be done? Well, Fleet Paw Swiftback, the amazing Fleet Paw Swiftback. Please, if you would like one of the physical, if you want a upsold Trek Shorts poster, one of the 20 of you, and if you're watching this, after the fact, message the Trek Shorts Facebook page and let me know. Simple as that. And then we'll work out your postage, and that'll be all we need to do. On top of that. And then there you go. Bob is your uncle, if that's an expression that you have where you are. Yeah. And there you go. You'll be able to have the physical version signed or not. Up to you. Up to you. Good, Mark Philippi. Good. Well, let's do... I mean, I've got a few minutes. I just we've got enough money. So let's show off some cool stuff. Guys, put in the chat right now. Do you want to see some cool stuff as we start to close out? Put in the chat right now. Do you want to see some cool stuff? Sign off. Or sound off. That's what I'm looking for. Sound off. I am going to also play one of these teasers while you guys sound off. You want to see some cool stuff? Because I've got a couple of things I've got ready to show.
Lieutenant Sam Harriman, personal log. This may be my final entry as a Starfleet officer. I know what I've been told, but I also know what feels right, and this doesn't feel right. I'm a lieutenant in Starfleet, and that means something. The principles I live by come first, even if it means I lose my commission. I will have saved lives and made a difference.
Hey, Harriman. You okay?
Commander. I'm fine. Just thinking.
Aye. This is the best place to do so. I wish we had this much space.
Me too. Ergol's not quite as flash as a Galaxy class.
Are you ready to go?
Almost. There's just one more thing I have to do.
Dramatic. And that is a teaser that I did right before. What do you guys think? The fantastic 10 forward set built my Wow, words. Built by Matt Boardman, and then I and then I textured it and put it together and tried to do some 3D people, etc. Yes, scratch marks are intentional, Eric. You've always got to decrease the quality of a production to make it a little more real. Thanks, Robert. Yes, so this is fun, and thank you, and Martin. Yes, he is lieutenant in this. What does that mean? He's been a ensign in the rest of our fan films. And yes, with Nick as well. So that's great. I'm really pleased with that. And then also we can show the Stargate one.
If Baal gets his hands on this technology, we're all in trouble. Alternate universes. It's a Pandora's box. But Baal is crazy enough to open it. If the Tok'ra reports are right, then this is the planet. Prepare to drop out of hyperspace. Signal the stone room. It's time to bring in Major Hunt.
And that is the first look of the Stargate content. What do you guys think? And this is not Sam Harriman, Lieutenant or Ensign, the Stargate version of Marcus Churchill. What do you think, guys? This has been a 3 set that's been in my buffer for a very long time. And in fact, my standards have improved since I had this made 2 years ago. So I need to have some stuff rebuilt to be better, because especially with how the rendering software works, I know the issues more, and I need it to be better to kind of flow. So yeah, some things to be rebuilt. Oh dear. So I did a temp texture, What do you guys think? If you guys like Stargate, what do you think of that Stargate? He said, I'll play it again for those. Let me know what you think if you like Stargate. If you don't, well, what do you think anyway?
If Baal gets his hands on this technology, we're all in trouble. Alternate universes. It's a Pandora's box. But Baal is crazy enough to open it. If the Tok'ra reports are right, then this is the planet. Prepare to drop out of hyperspace. Signal the stone room. It's time to bring in Major Hunt.
Yeah, no, that was hard to make. It was fun but hard. James Kirk, looks like straight from the show. Thank you. The truest of compliments. Hyperspace looks more difficult to warp. Yeah, probably. So that's that. I will save the other thing, but I just want to briefly. I mean, I don't know, guys. If you if we can, because I know Stuart will want me to say, we're at 104 likes, and we could do with $25 more in super chats, and 6 more likes. That would be great for this live. I'm having a lot of fun. Got a couple of things more to show because I want to celebrate some of these team members. Cause I just spent an hour and a half prepping this stuff. But $25 in super chats and 5 more likes would be phenomenal. And if you guys want to get any of the posters, now is 6 more hours to get the posters. That is it actually. I just closed off that. So yeah, the posters I'm really excited for. The ships of Trek Shorts is to celebrate you all. So that's as in the ships. This is Gary with Drop Dominion, and he is joining us. And this is a selection of the visual effects I've made for him in the past. So yeah, have a little look with his the only fan film to use a Dreadnought class as its primary. That was I absolutely love making that shot. I love the depth. And I also managed to, I was given this alien design, but I improved it, added more things, made it more 3D and functional. And yeah, a bit of Dreadnought Dominion here. Great guys, really mean well. They don't necessarily have the highest of standards, but by definition, not everyone can have the highest of standards. That's why I have high standards. But they're always improving, they're always trying more and better. And I really commend them for that because they come from an amateur place and they've made great steps in every way. And we have fun with what we do, which is great. Boy, the amount of things I had to do to make these things work. So yeah, if you like Dreadnought Dominion and you like the look of this, go watch the Dreadnought Dominion fan films. They have many. And they've actually got crowdfunder launching, Tuesday. Definitely worth it. Then you've got Nick Cook. We just talked to him. Crazy. And here's some of my work from Starship Intrepid. These are fun to work on because they are post TNG, which is not what I get to work on most of the time. I know that these were fun because this one especially is such a long shot, which you never get in like fan film CG, especially until I came along. Cause it's just a billion years to render, and it was really fun to give them like a nice hero shot of the station that they never really had before in HD and that nice saber class and just like really feeling part of the world, which was phenomenal. And this is much more modern. I think my lighting is a lot better on this one, but better PCs help. And then oh my god, planet face out. And this is the Starship Intrepid fan film series, and this one was a real bleep. As you can imagine, you don't tend to do these sorts of shots, but once you finish it and you can just watch a shot of this length, you're just happy on the inside. You know, I think people will certainly agree. James Kirk, the cinematography is its own accomplishment, does as much as CGI quite sometimes. Yes, I like to think so. I'm a camera guy at heart. That's my bit of passion. Then you've got, and these are all crossover partners with my films. This is the Squadron team. If you haven't seen Squadron, please do. It's fantastic. It's out. It's released. It's kicking ass. Four bridges, one bridge. And Jacob was the ones that made my personals, the ones I'm wearing. First Contacts and Voyager uniforms. Fantastic. And if anyone wants a costume of that highest of quality, it's expensive, but highest of quality, email me or Trekyards at hotmail.com. And these are the shots I did for Squadron. These were fun. I don't tend to do exteriors like this, but this was I said, can we do it? Should we do it? And they're like, yeah. Norway's my custom Norway design. A lot of fun redesigning, reverse engineering, giving it a new life. I don't want this to have quantums, but I was told to give it quantums. You know, I've never obviously worked with Norway ever, and well, I've worked with Norway's more than anyone, and to give it such a flow was a lot of fun. And this was great with the having the runabouts, you know, because they are small ships, so to have them part of the fleet I thought was quite sweet to kind of have them as secondary ships. And this was establishing I introduced. They didn't really care what ship. I said it's kind of nice to you know, to draw us back into the era with a TNG version of the Excelsior with those custom warp grills, which is something you rarely see except in DS9. A lot of minutia, a lot of niche. Probably should put more ships in this shop, but that's okay. And so you can see a different fleet. This was great because you never see these ships together, and I have versions of everything. So I was just like, yes, of course we're gonna see an Intrepid warp in. Norway would have quantums. It's the first quantum vessel. Notice Jericho. Quantums were a super high-end specialist thing. The Akira didn't, Norway didn't, Saber didn't, at least at that point. Only the Defiance and the Sovereigns did. They were extremely big and fancy to have. They all had photons, except post refits, but they were not given them first. Yes, James Cook, I did a few of those as well, which is a lot of fun. Hard, but fun. Robert, what would you say as being part of the official Trek series VFX teams? Well, James Jamal Taylor, I mean, there slightly is. I mean, they're much harder to make, so you have a lot less of them, and so you're going to focus on specific ships. And, you know, who do you pick, etc. And they are slightly different launchers, but it's mostly just having enough of them. Enough years and you can have them, but I like to... It's like, you know, they're god weapons in a sense. They're very powerful. If everyone has quantums, it devalues quantums. And especially if you bring out a quantum, it's like, well, yeah, it's a quantum. So I personally give them a bit more vavavoom, etc. Official Trek, you know, if it was more like the olden days when you could be the composer of shots, I'd love to. I've obviously talked to them a lot, but, you know, I wouldn't want to be the guy that does, you know, the motion tracking for 10 shots and have no personal pride in, like, oh, look, I've got stuff. But, and, you know, if I could do this. And I enjoy fan films and making my mark. The Avalon universe, though, you guys saw the Joshua Irwin clip here. These are some clips from my Avalon universe stuff, which is the alternate universe, and they're going to be crossing over with us. I tried different tricks with the Avalon universe because it's modernistic, and so look at the harsh contrasts on this, and yet the more blinkies and glows, so it kind of pops in a different way. It was a lot of fun to kind of extemporize. This was I pitched this. First time we see a full functional modern Connie in this, which was fun. And in fact, the next film is Connie 1.3. This was my first time doing character animation like this. I really pitched this like, oh come on, we have to do the space flight bit. We have to. And this was the next iteration of that. Look at the scale on this. Look at the visceral reality of this. And this is a real heartache to create this one. Just the amount of effort and compositing and scale and timing. But look at that. Love it. So cool. And I designed all of the villain ships for this. Obviously, they're Klingon ships, but they're all their own custom designs, etc. Boy, I'm thirsty. Yeah, poor Archer. Oh, look at this Connie shot. Look at that. Oh, so good. Those shields would... I really wish I had shields in that battle, but I was told not to give him shields. The limitations of working with people is crazy. That's Ali Ree's Nebula. Beautiful. Oh, some of the flow. I love that. You can see all the lovely glows back there. And texture by Rob Bonchoon. My good friend Rob Bonchoon, who I'm a big fan of. I have a bit of Rob Bonchoon in his work. great artist, and people aren't necessarily artists, and that's, yeah, artists. I like artists. Where are we at? Yeah, that's my. We'll end on my cheeky little D7, which is meant to be a D7. Well, it's meant to be well. It is a D7, although it's, you know, my redesign. It's not exactly how I'd want it. I would do texturing differently. Hard to express how, but I would. I actually extended this shot past where it had to be for the lols. So unnecessary. But yes, ladies and or gentlemen and or aliens, I think that probably takes us to the end of this. If anybody would like to contribute the very last minute for one of the posters, then I can shout them out. 122 is incredible. 916 is truly incredible as well. But if anybody would like to get in the last like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, be part of the Defiant crew, the Enterprise E crew, the Cerritos crew, the Defiant crew, or get the sort of Trekyards themed Ships of Trek poster, that would be incredible. But oh, if you can't, we've done absolutely amazing. I'm super proud to have been to work on this with you guys, to work on it for you guys, to bring it to life. It's been a very hell of a road. I'm bloody drained because I really had. I mean, I put my heart and soul into making those new things for you. You know, I made. I'm looking now. I made 4 visual effects teasers, a full new short film, Hours at Warp, a Stargate teaser, which was all original, and a teaser as well. So many extra things. But I mean, you know, as I've said, you know, you guys come out when need be, and you guys absolutely came out. And 9170 is phenomenal. Hard to express because I was obviously worried at the start, and 75 in itself was a you know, trying to keep it locked in as a reasonable. So it's really nice. It's really nice. Because I definitely invested a lot of money in these, and now I'm like, haha! Now I can just make cool things, and yeah. So guys, call upon you guys. Don't need to contribute, you know, whatever you want to do. Please put in, as this is the sort of celebrating. I mean, it's sort of 6 hours. So anyone wants to donate at the end, brilliant. But put in your last words about this campaign. If you have any thoughts, please put them in now for posterity. Being recorded, as we have 122. Yeah, just put in the chat right now. I'd love to have, if you just, you know, put a few comments of what you think about the campaign, of what you think about what we've done, anything, just kind of to end on a little bit of a celebration moment. Real bright. Oi, so bright. Put in the chat. Read a few things as last time. Mark Philippe, how do you get to the chat for the poster? I assume you mean the physical. You just donate for the normal poster, which we've got 20 of, and then go to the Trek Shorts Facebook page and message them saying, hey, I'm this so-and-so and I got a poster. I want it physical and signed, muhaha, and we'll absolutely get that to you, because that's going to be so cool. I'm really excited about that. Oi, so yeah, put in your comments. Last note on the shorts, and I can go to sleep. Any thoughts? Can't wait to watch them. Thank you, Bill. Very much appreciate that. Looking forward to these. Looking forward to the new material. The work is exceptional so far. Thank you so much, Jamal. Massive appreciation and brilliant supporter. Thank you, Chris Green. Congrats, Sam. I happily donated earlier today. Enjoy the live stream tonight. Can't wait to see the Trek Shorts. Thank you so much. Very appreciated. Words. I'm tired. I was so tired earlier as well. The campaign can be chalked up to success. Yes, it can, Fleetport. It really can. Thank you so much. Oi. Matt Borman. Honestly moved to tears. That's made the goal and then some. I say all the time, but I'm so excited to see these. You do say that a lot. And honestly, I'm so proud of you, Sam, and all we do continue to do. Thank you. I'm proud of you, Matt, for what you do continue to do. Because, boy, if you see a shuttle in these Trek Shorts, Matt worked on it, which is great. This is Jericho. Do you have a rough estimate of when it'll be released? Great question. COVID will not slow us down too much because we waited already the year. The Discovery short, we filmed a good chunk of it. I need Robin to film his chunk. I mean, release different to filmed. I want them all filmed this summer. My aim is to get 2 shorts out this year. That's pretty reasonable. I've done a lot of work on Outer Doomsday, as has Matt. And that's gone great. That's going to look so cool. But filming that has to happen. That'll be the easiest one to finish, I think, given how much work I've now done already. So Outer Doomsday. And that's our first one, big one to film. The Defiant short will be the second after that, I would assume. The Stargate one is it's either going to go really well or not really well, as in take the time or take more than the time. But I would hope 2 this year. Mini shorts are a whole different thing. I'm very aware, guys, that when the other Star Trek shows come out, I'm going to do 3 to 4 days a week to 5 days a week working full time on that stuff for you guys on this channel, which I'm okay with. I'm absolutely fine with that. And that's all good, you know? So I'm going to do less time, but as long as they're filmed, that's the important thing, filmed. James Kirk, love to see your passion for the heart of Trek. It's welcome to everyone who feels the same. Sleepwell Commander, well done. And I did get 2 more contributions, so who ends out this live stream? One new contribution from Phillips15, Defiant crew member. And the final is Budman. Yep. Ships of Trek Shorts poster 15, which brings our final number after this phenomenal. Oh, we went up, rounded up to £9,208 and 122% with 196 backers, which is absolutely amazing. And still 6 hours. I'm going to resist the urge of looking at my phone until I wake up. I expect no more. But hey, if we hit 125, that will really go somewhere. So thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for sticking with me going solo. Well, I managed to get some sneaky guests on for most of it, which was helpful to me because, you know, solo is fine, but I like sharing this with people. I like that a lot. So thank you so much, everyone. It's been very, very good to see you all. Oh, what the hell happened there? They did not. Oi, okay. Anyway, yes, have a great rest of the night, guys, and I'm sure I'll see you this week for live, etc. Thank you once again. We've done so well today. Incredible. Like 29% more today. Oh, wow. I'm gonna go to sleep. Night, everyone. Bye, guys.